Shout out to the real ones. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. A little bit late to the party, but look, if it's that good of a party and you show up on time, is it really that good of a party? It's always better when you're a little bit late. Shout out to the real ones. Everybody joining in. We got a big show today. Ian Begley, he posted an article on SNY. It was a mailbag where he was answering questions about Julius Randle trade chances, and he also touched on a starting lineup change that could be coming this season. We're going to break all that down in today's show. How's everybody doing, though? It's Wednesday. It's about 6:30 on the East Coast. We're just chilling and hanging. Me and my guy Patrick Seaman in the booth. Just wanted to chop it up with you guys on the latest Knicks news and rumors. So here we are. Before we get dialed up into the show, you know the deal by now. Where are my real ones at? If you're a real one, drop a real one in the comment section. I'll give you a shout out because it is a real one roll call to start today's show. It's September. We're not even at training camp, and we already got 150 people watching live in the first couple of minutes. The Knicks fans are the best fans in the world. Shout out to Charlie, Robert, Brian, my guy Jack is in the chat. Big L is in the chat. Mysterious Loop, Mannix, Derek, Knicks Galaxy, my brother. What up, man? Mansa, Deshaun, NYK, MR, Robert Paris, Jet Life, King Goose, Tricky Nicky, Marquise Robertson, real one all day, every day. You're damn sure right about that one. Shout out to Cisco. Steven Vargas says, what up, everybody? Big June Sports Talk's a real one. So is Rico. Jack is a real one, no doubt about it. Shout out to Darren, SB, Drake, GS, John, Hanson, The Worst Triangle, Keith Turner, Felicia. What is going on, everybody? That's a list 5. It's probably messed up, but it should be a list 5. Ty Clemens, what up, man? I hope you're having a good one. I'm still working on that for you. Don't worry about it. I actually talked with the bosses before today's show about getting you guys some Real One t-shirts that have been super chatters on the show. I think we might be making it happen. I've been begging, I've been asking, and I think they're going to make it happen for you guys. Big L, Ty Clemens, and all the real ones out there, and Charles Palmos. I'm going to get you guys taken care of. I told you I would. It's going to take a little while. Stuff doesn't move too fast here at Chat Sports. We've been busy. We've been building new studios. The NFL season has been crazy, but I am going to make sure you guys get your t-shirts. Don't worry about that. As always, we have a super chat menu for today's show. If you can't tell, my nose is a little bit stopped up. It's been running on me all day, but I've been looking forward to partying with you guys because I haven't drank in like the last week. Well, I drank on Sunday, but that doesn't count. That's game day. It's been a little while. We were only drinking tequila last week. We got the Fireball back. Let me get some hydration in before the liquor starts coming in. As always, every super chat equals a shout out. If you have a question about the Knicks, you can ask it. We'll pop it up on the screen. As always, every $10 shot super chat equals a Fireball shot. Once we get to $50 total dollars in super chats, we'll take a Fireball shot. Every 100 likes we'll get there. We got 250 people watching live right now and only 30 likes. Let's change that. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 100 likes in the next minute, and we'll do some shots. And every $50 super chat, we're bringing out the tequila. Last week, probably shouldn't have drank as much tequila as we did, but it was fun. It was real. It wasn't real fun, though. It was. I just thought that sounded cool. Here's the super chat menu for today. I also want to give some love to the super chat real ones that have made the $100 super chat list. Charles Palmos has sent in 3.5 $100 super chats. So he sent in 2 $100 super chats, but he also sent in a $150 super chat. So I counted that as a super chat and a half. He's at the top of the leaderboard with 3.5 $100 super chats. Jason B, the GOAT, has sent in 2. Big L, he once held the record for the largest super chat in Knicks Now history with $115. And Charles Palmos wiped that one out with $150. But Big L still holding his spot firm on the $100 Super Chat list. So is my guy, Jack. What up, brother? Saw you in the chat already. Hope you're having a good one. And Reggie Jones, the silent assassin, Reggie Jones, has also dropped a $100 Super Chat on the show. We'll continue to make this list longer and longer. If more people send in a $100 Super Chat, we'll make it 6, we'll make it 7, 8, 9, 10. There is room for everybody on this list, but you gotta do what you gotta do to make it on the list. It's a prestigious list, no doubt about it. Let's welcome in producer of the show extraordinaire, Patrick Seatman. Give Pat some love in the chat. It's helping me get ready today for the show. He was doing God's work, no doubt about it. Seeps, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to talk about this Julius Randle stuff that Begley, he kind of dropped the bombshell just casually. Yeah, but I'm excited to see Jack in the chat, Big L, all the real ones down there. But we got a lot of interesting stuff we're going to break down in a couple of VODs for you guys.
It's gonna be a fun show. We're gonna have some fun. What up, Sammy?
I wish I played for the Knicks.
Shout out to Sam Brown, the GOAT of the producers. Begley did also was asked about the starting lineup, and he had some things to say, and we'll get to those in a second. But first, I want to ask you guys this question. Who starts this year out of these three guys? You know Brunson, you know Barrett. If Randall's on the team, you know he'll start, and you know Mitchell Robinson's going to start. That's going to leave one spot for one of these guys. Who should be the guy that starts out of these three? Type 13 for Fournier, 21 for Reddish, and 6 for Quentin Grimes. We've got advanced stats on all of these guys, and one segment today is literally just going to be about what Begley had to say about these guys and who's going to start. We've got advanced stats that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Me and Seeps will go back and forth giving our opinions because I know you don't always want to hear from me. It's cool to get another guy's opinion and voice heard. I like that a lot.
And then Marsh, Charles popped in late, so I decided I'm going to throw this up again.
Charles is in the chat. Charles Palmos, he's at the top of the leaderboard with $350 Super Chats. Charles, what up, Brody? Says, am I late? Nah, you're right on time, my guy. Well, the show hasn't even started yet. We're just building up the audience, getting everybody hyped up. Charles, when you sent in that $100.50 Super Chat, I counted it as a Super Chat and a half. You now own the record. I talked with the bosses. I don't know if you heard when you were in here, but we talked with the bosses about getting you a T-shirt, and we're going to make that happen. Same with Big L, and same with my guy, Ty Clements. We're all going to make sure that stuff happens. We also have a mailbag, as always, coming up later in the show where we're going to answer your guys' questions. So if you have a question and you want it to get up on screen, use hashtag Knicks in the comments section. That way, producer Seatman can put your question up on screen. If you don't use hashtag Knicks when you ask a question, it's not going to be able to get up on screen. So if you want to get up on screen, you want me to answer your question, we can have a back and forth, a little two-way conversation. Me and Seeps will talk about it. Yep. Just use hashtag Knicks in the comments section. Steven Vargas, he's a real one. He knows how it works. How do you maintain a winning culture when there's a lot of losing? That's a really good question. We'll save that. We'll save that for the mailbag, no doubt about it. Charles, I appreciate you, bro. You're the definition of a real one. All righty. We got 300 people watching right now and just 65 likes. Once we get to 100 likes, we'll break out the shots. So let's do this. Let's put a stopwatch on it. Let's get to, we're 35 likes away. Can we get 35 likes in the next minute? If we can, I'll take 2 shots. 300 people watching and 67 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Hit that like button. Seeps is telling me in my ear, we're not starting the show until we get to 100 likes on the show. Ty Clemens says, I'm driving, brother, but I'm tuned in. Ty, I love you. Please do not drive and comment, please. I love you too much, and I don't want that to be a thing. No driving and no commenting. You can watch. Just don't do that.
Does he have it on the CarPlay, though, like Rich Rob? Is it on the Apple CarPlay?
Rich Rob popped in the Giants live stream on Sunday.
It was
a time. It was a time.
There you go.
8 likes away, and we're 15 seconds away. Can we get to 100 likes? 10 seconds. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. 315 people watching, and we're 7 likes away in 3 seconds. If we can get there, we'll take some shots. A minute, I'll stop the clock, I'll refresh my feed, and we're there. The real ones never disappoint. Thank you to you guys for tuning in. Remember, every time we reach 100 likes, we'll take a fireball shot. And also, we'll take more shots. We got $10 first fireball shot, all types of ways. I'll pour Seeps a shot right here.
That's some good hand-eye right there, Mark.
That was.
That was
Not
some
gonna
good
lie,
control. You guys missed it. Charles getting his question in. Great question. We'll get there. That clears your sinuses up a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, the fireball is going to get me back healthy.
Yeah, let's have a party, guys. Let's have a good time. Fireball Marsh from Pudge Nights.
I'll take 2 because I said I would. You guys know I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
Alrighty. 330 people watching. Let's dive right in to the Julius Randle trade rumors that are heating up because Ian Begley was asked about the chances that Julius Randle gets traded. And Begley, he said there's a 40% chance, in his opinion, that a deal gets done. When Begley speaks, we got to listen. He's the best Knicks beat reporter in the game. He ain't nobody that's just making up stuff for clicks. That ain't Ian Begley. So let's break it down. The latest rumors surrounding Julius Randle right now. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. On today's show, we're going to go through some top 5 Julius Randle trade destinations because Ian Begley, in a mailbag on SNY, was asked about what are the chances that Julius Randle could be traded prior to the season, and Begley said there is a 40% chance that it happens. I'm going to be honest, that's a lot higher than I would have thought of. If you would have asked me, I probably would have said 20 to 15% chance because I believe if a trade was on the table, they would have already made the trade. But when Begley speaks, Knicks fans, listen. He's the best beat reporter in the game, and when he says it, we got to believe it. He said there is a 40% chance that the Knicks trade Julius Randle prior to the season. So for that, I want to go to the top 5 destinations that I think make sense for a Julius Randle trade. We'll do that in a second, and me and Seeps will go back and forth on what we think actually makes a little bit of sense. But I want to ask you guys first, will Randle be a Knick come game 1? When game 1 is here on October 19th versus the Memphis Grizzlies, will Julius Randle be a Knick? Predict it for me. Type Y for yes, or you can go down in the comment section and type N for no. The top Julius Randle trade destination, in my opinion, is the Charlotte Hornets because they need a power forward. Falling out from the Bridges situation, they don't have a power forward on the roster that I feel like is even close to the player that Julius Randle is. And I honestly feel like LaMelo Ball needs a guy that can attack the rim and be a force inside the paint. And I think Julius Randle kind of fits that need a little bit. You lose Bridges, who was a player that was going up and getting better every single year. He did the dumb shit that he did, the unacceptable stuff. Probably should never be allowed to play in the NBA again. But they now have a need at the power forward spot. Seeps, what do you think about the idea of trading Randle to the Hornets? There's been some talks about a potential Gordon Hayward swap for Julius Randle swap. They both have about $30 million on their contract. What do you think about that?
I was actually just going to bring up the Gordon Hayward thing. I think that's because the contracts would match up pretty well.
Yeah.
But also the Hornets, I mean, like you were saying, if you have LaMelo Ball, you got to give him somebody to play with. And they thought it was Miles Bridges, and then you said he did the dumb shit he did.
Yeah.
But I think, even though Julius Randle, his stock went down last year, if you could team him up with LaMelo Ball, you can play in for that play-in tournament in the East, but the way the Hornets roster is right now, they're probably not sniffing the play-in tournament.
Because Montrezl Harrell is no longer there.
Yep.
And they need a power forward. And it would be a nice little two-man game because we've looked at the stats on this show plenty times before of Julius Randle with Derrick Rose compared to without Derrick Rose. Julius Randle is a better basketball player when he has a point guard, quite frankly, that can be an orchestrator, and there's not many in the NBA better than a guy like LaMelo Ball. If a trade with the Hornets were to happen, expect it to be Gordon Hayward coming back in return. I'll ask you guys, who would you rather have on the Knicks? Type GH for Gordon Hayward or JR for Julius Randle. I want to hear from you in the comment section right now. Another team that's been linked to Julius Randle and recently was the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
And there's been some rumors about Jay Crowder and Dario Saric and maybe a guy like Landry Shamet, and it all makes sense to me. But my question would be, is a team that feels like they're on the cusp of competing for an NBA title really value bringing in a guy like Julius Randle? But also, Seeps, the way I look at it is, if there's anybody that can get the most out of Julius Randle, it's Chris Paul.
That's a great point. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't think he fits in the Suns' culture well enough, just because they got those young guys, Cam Johnson, McCall Bridges. They kind of like the wing 3-and-D guys a lot. But like you were saying, Chris Paul, he is the one guy that could get the most out of Julius Randle. Marsh touched on it a little bit, but Julius Randle's numbers compared with D. Rose on the floor, compared to him off the floor, he's a completely different player. So I think, Suns, probably the more unlikely team on this list, but I definitely think it's a team that you could keep your eye on just because, they're trying to win a championship. This could be a move that they think could put them over the top.
Yes, Sports Illustrated put out an article talking about this last week, and their trade idea was Landry Shamet, Dario Saric, Torrey Craig, a top 20 first-round pick that's protected in 2023, a 2025 first-round pick swap, or a 2024 second-round pick.
Wow.
So Shamet, Saric, Torrey Craig, a first-round pick that's top 20 protected in 2023, and essentially a second-round pick. If you would make that trade, let me know. Type A for accept, type D for decline. I don't know necessarily if I would make that trade. I still am holding out hope, Seeps, that Randle can get back to being a good player with a point guard like Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, that would be almost kind of selling out early on Randle.
That's dumping him.
That would be dumping him. Because, listen, Shamet, great player. With the amount of guards the Knicks have, he's not going to get – he's not going to be as valuable as he would be.
You're not like the best player you're getting in the deal is Shamet or Dario Saric. I know you're getting a 2023 first-round pick, but it's top 20 protected.
Yes.
All first-round picks aren't created equal. All Knicks fans should know that at this point. But there's rumors surrounding Randle and the Suns, so we're going to talk about it on this show. I'll ask you this question. Those are probably the top two teams that I think are most likely that would make a trade for Julius Randle. But I'll ask you, what is your number one Julius Randle trade destination? If you had to think of any team in the NBA, who would it be your number one spot for a Julius Randle trade destination? What about the team that drafted him into the NBA, the LA Lakers? We've heard time and time again that the New York Knicks have called and have interest potentially in a trade for Russell Westbrook, getting that 1-year, $47 million deal. What if you could make a trade of, let's say, Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish for Russell Westbrook, a guy you're going to buy out and get cap space for $47 million, and an unprotected first-round pick that would be in 2027, which is deemed by a lot of executives in the NBA as a very valuable pick because in 2027, AD is going to be gone, and LeBron James is going to be gone. It's definitely an interesting idea because you're not really getting a good player back, but it opens you up and I think sets you up in the future a little bit better. You get a first-round pick, and you get off of Randle and Fournier's deal. All you got to do is throw in Reddish to sweeten up the pot a little bit. What do you think about
See, this is the trade that I think is actually probably best for the Knicks. I mean, that 2027 first-round pick for the Lakers, if you get that unprotected, yes, bringing in Westbrook, I'm assuming the Knicks would probably buy him out. But, hey, getting your hands on that 2027 first-round pick, also getting Randle out of there, you give more minutes to Toppin and Mitchell Robinson. I think that would be the trade out of these first three I would probably take. I don't know if the Lakers would, but
I think they would want Cam Reddish. There's been a lot of rumors and ties that they are interested in Cam Reddish. There was the rumor that came out that a deal almost happened at the trade deadline. So if you could get Randle, Fournier, who would be a great player to play alongside LeBron James, in my opinion, because he's a catch-and-shoot guy. You need shooters around LeBron. And you get a 6'8 wing in Reddish who could get big minutes for the Lakers.
Seriously.
I think it makes sense for both sides, but
would you toss in Cam Reddish to get that done? I think I would from the Knicks side.
I honestly think I would. I like Cam Reddish, and we'll talk about him later in the show, but getting off of Randle's $30 million and Evan Fournier's $18 million to have $47 million to spend in free agency in 2023, that's a good way to reset your roster and your cap space. And you get a valuable pick in the first round in the coming years. Definitely a team that I know and have heard have some interest in Julius Randle. Look, if a Julius Randle trade happens today, tomorrow, next week, or if any move happens surrounding the New York Knicks, we are going to break it down on this channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. We're a news and rumors channel, so when news comes out, we talk about it. When there's rumors out in the ether about the New York Knicks, we talk about it and we give you our take on them. We put out videos every single day and we go live once a week. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that does nothing but cover the New York Knicks, hit that big red button and let's ride. We were talking about this team as an option in the studios earlier before the show, Seeps. The Atlanta Hawks. There's been a lot of rumors around John Collins as a potential guy that could be traded out of Atlanta. Going back to last year, there was rumors that John Collins and Trae Young really didn't get along on the court or off of the court. So it would be a swap straight up most likely, maybe a pick on another side or whatever you have to do to logistically make the trade happen. But it would be pretty much John Collins for Julius Randle. And I honestly think Randle fits better on the Hawks, and I think Collins fits better on the Knicks. Seeps, give me your take on this.
See, that from on paper, I think that's a great trade for the Knicks. I understand the John Collins rumors, but if you just talk about that swap, giving Randle, we talked about it, his numbers with true point guards, giving him Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and we already know John Collins, kind of there's some tension between him and just the front office and everything. I think John Collins would be a great fit in New York. That lob threat for Jalen Brunson, also a pick and pop threat. I think John Collins, modern day NBA, pretty prototypical 4.
And I feel like he could play a little bit of small ball 5 from time to time.
Easy.
Like you could have a John Collins and Obi Toppin 4-5 lineup that fits way better than a Randle and Obi Toppin lineup because Randle can't really protect the rim. Obi's not really a rim protector. He's got length, but I think Randle fits better in Atlanta than John Collins because we have heard, and that's why they made the trade for DeJounte Murray, because they want to see Trae Young move more off the ball and be more of a catch-and-shoot guy. Randle is somewhat of a decent playmaker. He's a guy that's averaged more than 5 assists on 6 assists. A lot of times in his career, he could be a half-court playmaker and let, when DeJounte Murray come out, more off-ball, motion for a guy like Trae Young.
I would also say the John Collins-Mitchell Robinson combo at the 4-5.
That's a lot of length.
Your offense, it would still be an open floor kind of 4 out, 1 in, Mitchell Robinson in the dunker spot. But then you could also have John Collins out and that catch and shoot 3. Yep. He still has that. So I think this is another one that I think the Knicks would benefit the most.
It would be wild if the Knicks and the Hawks made a trade, but I truly think that trade could benefit both sides. I'll ask you, who is the better basketball player right now? Type JR for Julius Randle or JC for John Collins. I want to take the pulse of all the Knicks fans out there. Who's the better player right now? JR for Julius or JC for John Collins? And this last team on the list, the Sacramento Kings. There was rumors back at the trade deadline that the Sacramento Kings were interested in Julius Randle. And look, it's the frickin' Sacramento Kings. The Kings are going to be the Kings. If there's a team dumb enough out there to trade for Julius Randle after they already made a move for a big like they did Sabonis when they made the trade with the Indiana Pacers, it would be the Kings. I'm not sure what you would get back. Maybe you try to get a guy back like Harrison Barnes in the deal.
That'd be a good pickup.
Maybe a Barnes for Julius Randle straight up swap, and your starting lineup becomes Brunson at the 1, RJ at the 2, Harrison Barnes at the 3, Obi Toppin at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. I think that stylistically fits a little bit better, and that means more minutes for a guy like Obi Toppin. A lot of Knicks fans really just want to trade Randle so Obi could get more minutes. And look, I want to see Obi play more, but Randle is a better basketball player than Toppin right now. There's really no other way I can slice it. But I do think going forward, if you're able to move Randle, it opens up more minutes for guys like Toppin, Reddish, Mitchell Robinson. You get to see more Isaiah Hartenstein. I don't know. I think Harrison Barnes would be a cool fit on this team.
And I think the main reason we put the Kings on this is the Kings have been so irrelevant for so many years. Who knows? They might want to overpay for a guy like Randle. Put some more people in the seats. You know, you got Keegan Murray in the draft. Give him kind of a 4 or 5 to play with.
Yeah.
I could see the Kings doing this.
I think all of these teams make sense. If I had to power rank them, this is kind of my order, I think. I think the Hornets make the most sense. They need a power forward. There's actually been rumors about the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers have been tied. I think the Hawks, it makes them a better team. And I think the Kings are the Kings. Seeps, out of these teams, what do you think is the most likely Randle destination?
For some reason, I'm thinking the Lakers really want to move off Russ.
Yeah.
And I think this may be the avenue they choose. If my gut's telling me Lakers right now, best fit, I agree with you, the Hornets. But I could see with the Lakers,
they have to make something shake.
They have to. They brought in Patrick Beverley and Dennis Schroeder.
Schroeder, yeah.
So they have 2 guards already behind Russ. I don't know.
It would be pretty damn funny if Julius Randle went back to the Lakers. Look, I think anything can happen. Ian Begley said there's a 40% chance that a Julius Randle trade happens before the season. That's why we're breaking it down on today's show. I appreciate everybody making New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, drop a real one in the comments section and let me know your number 1 Julius Randle trade destination in the comments right now. $563 people watching right now. Let's get to 200 likes. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Almost 600 people live on a Wednesday in September. They said we couldn't do Knicks Live, and they look like a bunch of fools now because it's one of the best live shows at Chat Sports. Let's ride. Also, who's going to be the first super chatter of the day? I think it's a record, Seeps. We're 30 minutes into the show, and nobody's super chatted. And that's fine. We're okay with that. It's just, I've come to expect it, and I shouldn't be like that. But you guys always bring the energy no matter what. Remember, there's multiple ways to get on the show. Super chatting is one way to do it. Every super chat, we'll put it up on screen. If you have a question about the Knicks, if you disagree with anything that me and Seep said, super chat, say it in the chat, and we'll chop it up back and forth. Put your picture, your question up on screen, and we'll talk about it for a couple of minutes. Every $10 super chat equals a fireball shot. Every $50 in supers, we'll take a fireball shot. Every 100 likes. Look, we're at 190 likes right now. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 200 likes. I'm going to pour up the shot because I know you guys are going to get us there. Hit that thumbs up icon yet if you haven't. Let's get to 200 likes. Be a real one. Hit that thumbs up icon. We do have a mailbag coming up, and we're going to do a video on who should start for the New York Knicks between Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, and Evan Fournier. Because in that same article where we saw that Ian Begley said there's a 40% chance that a trade happens, he also had some quotes about the New York Knicks starting lineup, so we'll break that down. $200 in 200 likes, excuse me. Appreciate you guys. Here's a shot for that. And we got our first super chat of the show. Shout out to my guy, Matt Shaw. We'll put that up on the screen in a second. He says, Julius Randle is not going to get traded. His stock is low right now. Knicks are hoping for a better year before trading him. I agree with all of that. And I think what we need to remember is that this franchise values value. They don't want to make a deal that doesn't bring this team value. And I kind of agree with you, Matt. Before today, I was like, there's no way, no how that the New York Knicks would trade Julius Randle before the season because they want to see what he can do. They want to repair his value. They want to see if playing with a point guard like Julius Randle will make playing with a point guard like Jalen Brunson will make Julius Randle a better basketball player. And I also kind of agree that his stock is low right now because the Knicks have been taking calls for guys for trades like Julius Randle. And I do think if a trade was already on the table that they deemed as valuable, they would have made it happen.
Yep.
So I think a trade, if it happens, it's going to come somewhat out of nowhere. I mean, for Ian Begley to say there's a 40% chance, that kind of caught me off by surprise. I was not expecting that.
See, the thing is, when he said 40% chance before the start of the season,
that's so fast.
See, unless he's thinking like a team, if they have really no energy, like the Kings going into the season, they might overpay for Randle without seeing him play. But I don't know. I feel like the Knicks, kind of like what you said, Matt, his stock's low right now. Let's see if he can have a good first month and then maybe ship him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other NBA GMs know that the Knicks are probably thinking that too.
Yeah. And look, would you guys be surprised if Randle had a good year this year? I wouldn't. I'm not expecting him to, but I think playing with a point guard like Jalen Brunson can make you a better basketball player. Like, he makes the games easy for people. He's just a true floor general. He's a point guard. That's what he is. I mean, a pick and roll or a pick and pop with Julius Randle could be a good offensive play, I think, for the Knicks.
And that could be also like a go-to. Like, obviously, like Julius Randle and Brunson are probably the two most polished players on the Knicks roster right now in terms of just getting a bucket. Like, yes, RJ, love RJ Barrett, but in terms of polished game, he's not there at Julius Randle's level just because Julius Randle's is 27, 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just think that Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle pick and roll could really be something to, keep your eyes on.
The only thing I'm somewhat worried about with Randle is he going to be willing to take a smaller role? Because you didn't bring Jalen Brunson in and pay him $100 million to not be the floor general and not lead the team in usage rating. You just gave RJ Barrett $100 million. You didn't do that for him to get less shots than Julius Randle. Is he going to be cool Randle with taking a smaller workload? I would hope so he puts the team before himself, but I don't have really anything to stand on with that.
I think it would have to be Brunson's your one, Barrett and Randle kind of fall in line.
2A, 2B.
2A, 2B type of situation. Maybe when RJ develops throughout the year, he'll be more of the two. But like you said, it would be great to see if Randle can kind of swallow his ego a little bit, kind of swallow his pride, and kind of fit into that 2-3 role, which he could be very good at.
Yeah. I don't think he can ever be a number one. I thought kind of the season we saw when he was the most improved player and top 10 in MVP was more of an enigma. But I do think that he can be a guy that averages 18, 8, and 5 and shoot 45% from the field and 35% from three. That's a winning basketball player. What he did last year, shooting 41% from the field and 30% from three, that is not a winning basketball player. The raw numbers look good, right? 20, 10, and 5. But if your efficiency sucks.
I will say Randle's game, I don't think it translates too well to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
I think when you're in a half-court set and you can really kind of focus on him and turn him into a half-court player where he has to make a move and you can send doubles and everything, like we saw him struggle. Obviously, that was his first playoff series as the number one, but still, he did struggle. So that'll be something to also keep your eye on, too, if the Knicks do end up making the playoffs and he is on the team.
I see Niv in the comment section. This is the first year I'm like, meh, Knicks season starting. Are you kidding me? The Knicks have a point guard on their roster that has all-star potential for the first time since 2004 in Stephon Marbury. If you're feeling like this, like anyone's feeling like Niv right now, that's honestly a problem because you just got one of the best point guards in the NBA on your team. I think Brunson is a top 12, top 13 point guard in the NBA.
Easy. He's
and
a top 10.
And the Knicks haven't had that type of guy since who? How can you not be excited? You won 37 games last year with Alec Burks starting 60-plus ball games. You're telling me if you thrust Jalen Brunson into this lineup, you're not going to be excited?
And also, like, RJ Barrett, like, how are you not excited to see what the work he put in the offseason? And seeing guys like Quentin Grimes, take that another step up. I think this is probably coming from expecting to have Donovan Mitchell, but not appreciating what the Knicks already did this offseason.
Like, they had a good offseason.
A great offseason.
Like, I think if the Donovan Mitchell trade rumors never happened, guys like Niv or women like Niv wouldn't be feeling like this.
Yes.
Maybe you're upset, maybe you're disappointed, but the Knicks still had a good offseason. They signed Jalen Brunson to, in my opinion, a steal of a contract, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also, RJ Barrett, you're only paying him 4 years, $107 million. That's a steal. Look, Isaiah Hartenstein, a lot of people may not know who he is, but he is going to be a very exciting player to watch on the Knicks. You get to see another year of Obi Toppin. You get to see another year of Emmanuel Quickley and R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. Like, there's a lot of things to be excited about for the New York Knicks right now. I don't really understand the hate right there.
Oh, wow. This would be what Nick just sent us. So CBS Sports ranked the top point guards in the NBA. This is embarrassing out of CBS, I think. They had Jalen Brunson as the 21st ranked point guard.
I just can't agree with this.
How do you have Fred VanVleet at 12 and Jalen Brunson at 21?
You have Fred VanVleet over Darius Garland. You have C.J. McCollum over Jalen Brunson.
Oh.
Tyrese Halliburton over Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson dropped 40 points in the playoffs without Luka Doncic. That's so disrespectful.
On a Rudy Gobert-led defense.
Yes. I mean, CBS Sports has James Harden at 7. He's washed.
Come on. Marsh.
We got some super chats coming in. Matt Shaw with another $5 super chat. With Brunson, I want to see less of Randle dribble it up on the court.
Yep.
And I want him to use his right hand more because anyone playing his strong... Does he want Brunson or Randle to use his right hand?
I'm assuming
more?
Randle.
Randle, yeah. I think that with bringing Brunson over, you're taking the ball out of Julius Randle's hands. Like, that's why you got him here, to dribble the ball, to be a playmaker. I hope you're right, Matt. I hope the day and age of the fourth quarter, Julius Randle, ISO, mid-range, dribble. That needs to be over. That needs to be done with. The New York Knicks need to run their offense through Jalen Brunson and R.J. Barrett. I truly believe that.
Marsh, I just actually got chills real quick because I was just imagining fourth quarter MSG, 2 minutes left, tie game, hectic. Knicks are blowing a lead. They just blew a 10-point lead like you said they did all last year.
Terrible.
Hey, Jalen, get the ball right
go
here.
Get a bucket, yeah.
Come here. Pick and roll. Like, he can slow it down.
If there's a smaller guard on Brunson, he's going to bring him to the block.
It's going to be embarrassing, too.
I don't think a lot of people are really understanding the type of player that Jalen Brunson is, and that's okay. You probably didn't watch a lot of Dallas Mavericks games, and that's fine. But in 2 months, when I saw someone laughing saying that I think Jalen Brunson's a top 10, top 12 point guard, I do believe that. I think you all will be agreeing with me in 2 months when Jalen Brunson's averaging 23 points per game and 7 assists. If Brunson does that this year, you guys are going to love this guy. And I think in 6 months, it's going to be a split fan base of who is your favorite player, R.J. Barrett or Jalen Brunson. I truly believe that. Because you know why? Brunson, he wanted to be a Knick. He chose the Knicks. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He plays a winning brand of basketball. And the dude is just a freaking hooper.
Yep. And then the OG.
Big L with a $50 super chat, my guy. What up, brother?
Let's go.
He said, I think this team will surprise the NBA this year if Tom uses this team's strength, and that is the fact that we can go big like Minnesota or go small like Golden State if Tom uses the team right. I think you're right, Big L. The versatility that the lineups that Thibodeau can deploy are truly fascinating because you could go. What about this lineup right here? You have Brunson at the 1. You have, let's say, Quickley at the 2.
Okay.
R.J. Barrett at the 3. Cam Reddish or Obi Toppin at the 4 with Mitchell Robinson at the 5. That's a small but fast lineup with also rim protection. And then you can go big, like you said. You can go Obi or Mitchell Robinson at the 5 and Isaiah Hartenstein at the 4. There's so many different lineups that this team can use. It just all comes down to what Tom Thibodeau is going to do. Old dogs don't learn new tricks, but this dog better learn some new ones or he's not going to be the coach much longer. He has to adapt. It's not 2008 anymore.
And also, I mean, that lineup, if you go Brunson, Barrett, Obi, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, that's Brunson and a bunch of 6'9", and obviously Obi's only like 6'6", but you can have a lot of length on that Knicks starting lineup. I mean, and you know Tibbs will get them going defensively, so.
Charles says Tom is not creative. That is a worry of mine, but I think that Thibodeau is getting some heat from the front office of it's time to play the kids.
Yes.
And I don't mean to call them kids. It's time to play the young guys. It's time to play the guys that still have stuff to prove. Big L sends in a $50 super chat. Every 50 bones, we'll take a tequila shot. I'll do that right now. Big L said, Charles, I'm coming for your top spot. Don't get comfortable. Shout out to you, Big L. Jesus.
Marshall and tequila are not friends. Some days they are.
Tricky Nicky says, this is Thibs' last season if the kids don't get minutes. I think I'm kind of there with you, man. Big L said, yes, I am. He is. I remember, Big L, you said it last week.
He was talking
Charles
last week.
will not hold the top spot long of the $150 super chat. I think there's going to be a battle between Charles and Big L going back and forth. Once Big L tops the 150, Charles is coming in with the 200 piece.
Charles is laughing. The friendly competition.
I love it.
You guys are the engine to this show.
Look, we only go as you guys goes. You guys carry the show. Shout out to y'all. Let's get into a segment, though, of who should start in the backcourt along R.J. Barrett. Seeps, talk him through it.
Yeah, so we're going to be going through who starts because Ian Begley came out and said he thinks this certain player is going to start, but we got Fournier, Reddish, Quentin Grimes. Marshall's going to take it over first, and me and him are going to give a little back and forth on what we think better fit. And I might start talking D Rose after what I found out yesterday. D Rose is at 195 pounds. Knicks
D Rose is back.
Is D Rose back? MVP D Rose? No, I'm just kidding. But you guys are going to enjoy this segment.
I like Tricky Nicky in the chat. He added Charles Pommels and Big L with the boxing glove and said, ding, ding, ding. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's get into it. We have some advanced stats on Reddish, Grimes, and Fournier, and we'll talk about who should be the starters, and we'll touch on what Ian Begley had to say. Let's do it right now. In today's show, we're going to go over what Ian Begley had to say about a potential lineup change for the New York Knicks involving Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, and Quentin Grimes. So I'll ask you guys before we get rolling on today's show, who should start next to Brunson, Barrett, Randle, and Mitchell Robinson? Who should be that fifth starter? Type 13 for Evan Fournier, 21 for Cam Reddish, or 6 if you're rolling with Quentin Grimes. Shout out to the real ones. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. On today's show, we're going to go through some advanced stats from Cam Reddish, from Evan Fournier, from Quentin Grimes, on who should be the fifth starter on this team. We're going to break that down. We're just a couple of days away from training camp getting kicked off and the season starting on October 19th. So we are less than a month away. And Ian Begley put a piece up on SNY talking about the starting lineup. I thought he said some pretty interesting things. So let's read what he had to say. He went on to say, a few things come to mind here on a potential starting lineup change. When the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson, some in the organization were concerned with the defensive pairing of Evan Fournier and Brunson in the backcourt. He went on to say, I don't know if this was an opinion shared by the majority of decision makers, but it was prevalent. One scenario discussed internally around that time was starting Quentin Grimes at shooting guard and bringing Evan Fournier off the bench. Another scenario discussed internally involved moving R.J. Barrett to shooting guard and Cam Reddish to small forward. If I had to guess, the Knicks discussed several other scenarios at the time and in the 10-plus weeks since the signing of Brunson. Based on that knowledge and the idea that Fournier was included in several packages discussed by the Knicks and Utah Jazz and those Donovan Mitchell trade talks, I'd assume that Grimes starts and Fournier comes off the bench. So Ian Begley is rolling with Quentin Grimes as the starting two guard next to R.J. Barrett and Brunson in the backcourt. And I truly believe there are good arguments for all three players starting this year. You can make an argument that Quentin Grimes is the best perimeter defender. He's the guy that needs the less touches on offense. You can make an argument for Cam Reddish. He's got the ties and the chemistry with R.J. Barrett. You can move R.J. back to the 2, a 6'8" small forward that could put the ball on the deck, finish with the right hand or left hand. Or you can make an argument with Evan Fournier, the best scorer on the team out of those 3 guys, the guy with the most experience, the guy that can get the hottest from 3 and carry the offense. There are truly arguments to be made for all sides. And we're about to go through some advanced stats, and me and producer Seeps will go back and forth and give our opinions. But first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because with the season being less than a month away and training camp starting next week, we are only going to continue to do more and more videos on this channel. We're already doing daily videos. We might start doing multiple videos every single day. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube, hit that big red button, join the family, and subscribe right now. Let's take a look at Quentin Grimes first. What he did in his rookie season. Didn't play a lot of minutes, only averaged 6 points per game, less than a steal per night. Had a really good three-point percentage as a rookie, shooting 38% from 3. The total field goal percentage wasn't all that high, 40%, but more than a good chunk of his shots came from downtown. So it makes sense that his field goal percentage and three-point percentage are really close. Like we said, he didn't get all that many minutes as a rookie. But when he got minutes, when he got 20-plus minutes per game, which happened just 15 times last season, Quentin Grimes showed you the type of player that he could be, averaging 12 points per game, a steal and a half, shooting 44.7% from the field, and a scorching, red-hot 44.6% from 3. When Quentin Grimes got the minutes, he produced. And when he got to start for the New York Knicks, which happened six times last year, the numbers matched it up. 13.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game, 45% from the field, and 44% from 3. Seeps, if I had to go with someone, I think I would roll with Quentin Grimes, because in this starting 5, when you already have Brunson, you already have Barrett, and you already have Randle, those are 3, as I would say, ball-dominant players. They really need the ball to be effective. Brunson can play off ball, so could Barrett. But those are guys that are best when the ball is in their hands, meaning the guy that starts at this spot isn't going to get the most touches. And I think out of those 3 guys on screen, I think Grimes can produce the most with the least amount of offensive touches. I think he's the best defender of the 3, and I think he would be cool with playing lockdown defense and just shooting corner threes and catching shoot threes all game long.
See, I agree with you on the defensive side of the floor. I think Grimes, out of these 3, by far the best fit. But offensively, Evan Fournier, what he can do without the ball in the hand, just running off pin down screens, kind of being that distraction. Evan Fournier, what Begley said, him and Brunson defensively, not an ideal backcourt.
Worrisome for sure.
But with him offensively, Fournier, I mean, he can really shoot the basketball. And he's kind of got that blackout mode. When he sees the first 2 go in, his eyes, he's just only seeing back rim. And he can go off for 7, 8 threes in a game. But I think Grimes can get to that level. Only year 2 going into now. So I do think defensively right now, I go Grimes. But offensively, I think Fournier, he still has that flamethrower on him.
For sure. Fournier, I get the idea behind Fournier. We could pop up his stats right now. We'll touch on Reddish in a second. Fournier, my only concern with him is when the Knicks started last season, it was Kemba, it was Fournier, it was RJ, Julius, and Mitchell Robinson. And what we saw was that you have to draw up plays for Evan Fournier.
Okay.
Because you have to get him touches, right? Because, look, you shoot 39% from 3. You make 241 three-pointers in a season, which set the New York Knicks record for three-pointers made in a season. If you're drawing up plays for him, that means you're not drawing up plays for RJ. At the beginning of this past season, from watching, RJ became a guy that just caught and shot from the corner. But I get what you're saying with Fournier, because he is the best shooter, no doubt, of the 3, the best scorer of the 3, no doubt. Go back to those Celtics games when he got white hot and made 9, 10 three-pointers in a game and had 40 points. He can carry you offensively. But I think that fits best coming off the bench, because if he comes off the bench, he could be your leading shot taker off the bench. You can draw an offense around a guy like Fournier. And if you're not going to draw up plays for Fournier and he's in the starting lineup, he's a net negative because he doesn't play defense.
And I think Derrick Rose and Fournier coming off the bench, that's
Fournier,
a
Rose,
ton
and
of
Quickly,
offense.
those three guys
Yes.
with Toppin. You could throw in Jericho Sims or Isaiah Hartenstein. Like we said,
Yeah.
there are good arguments for everybody. Fournier's played the most NBA games. He's got the most basketball experience, probably the highest IQ out of these guys. But I think there's a trade-off. He's the best shooter, the best scorer, but of these three guys, he's by far the worst defender. So that's what concerns me a little bit. I get the idea behind Fournier. And look, he's making $18 million.
And Marsh, I will take your stats right here. The final 52 games for Evan Fournier, 15.2 points per game, 39.8 3-point percentage on 30 minutes a game. I mean, he can shoot the ball at a 40%
He can
clip.
shoot the piss out of the ball.
And 15 points a game in the NBA. I mean, you don't roll out of bed averaging that.
No.
So,
but only thing is, it's like this. It's like 30 points for Fournier, then 0 points. Then
But off the
30
bench.
Off the bench, that's acceptable.
So I agree with that.
You can't be inconsistent in this starting lineup.
No.
But if they started Fournier, I would understand it. I would do something different. But there's a lot of people that think Cam Reddish should be the starter, and they always point to what he did in the Eastern Conference Finals when he was a part of the Atlanta Hawks, averaging 13.3 points per game, a steal plus, almost 2 steals per game, and shot 57% from the field and 72% from three. They say Cam Reddish was a guy that has those experience in the playoffs. He's a guy that has the biggest skill set. He can put the ball on the deck. He can shoot from mid-range, from three-point land, can get to the deck. He's 6'8", wingspan, defense, the R.J. Barrett connection. It allows R.J. to go back to the 2. But I also think this with Cam, kind of the similar mindset of Evan Fournier. The guy that's going to be the 5th starter on this team, I think has to accept that they are going to get the least amount of shots when it comes between Barrett, Brunson, and Julius Randle. And I think the way that you can see the most from Reddish if he comes off the bench and is one of your leading bench minutes guys and gets the most opportunities. Because the stats, when Reddish gets the opportunities, show that he's a guy that will produce. In his career, he's played 70 games where he averaged 20 to 29 minutes per game. And he averaged almost 11 points per game and shot 38 and 32%. But when he averaged 30 to 39 minutes per game, he averaged 14 points per game and 41% from the field and 35% from three. And when he got the minutes like a starter in a Tom Thibodeau system, 40-plus minutes per game, he averaged 29.7 points per game, 50% from the field, and 54% from downtown. I want to see Reddish get a lot of shots this year. I want to see him be able to control the rock. And I'm not sure if Brunson and Barrett are on the court, he's going to get the necessary touches he needs to prove it. Because, look, it's a prove-it year for Cam Reddish. He's about to be a free agent. He'll be a restricted free agent. And the Knicks, they've invested in him. Yeah. They traded a first-round pick for this guy. I just think I get the idea of him starting, right? You get a bigger lineup. RJ at the 2, 6'7". Cam Reddish at the 3, 6'8", 6'9". People say he's the next Paul George. I haven't seen that yet. But he does have potential. And I think to maximize that potential, it's got to be off the bench where he can actually get a role to go get buckets.
I will say, out of these three, Cam Reddish by far has the most potential.
100%.
Like his max version of himself. Maybe it's not Paul George, but maybe it's something similar. Because those stats, when he does average more than, 40 minutes a game. I mean, that's ridiculous. 40-plus minutes a game, almost averaging 30 on 50-50 splits. That's pretty good. But if you look at that second one, the 30 to 39 minutes per game, that could be a sweet spot with the Knicks. If, let's just say if you do move off Fournier in a Julius Randle trade and he does have to get more minutes, I think this may be the sweet spot if you do have Cam Reddish playing 30, 39 minutes a game. But again, it's going to come down to if he's able to, swallow his pride a little bit and kind of take a step back and just allow Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, and all of them to run the show.
And he's got to be available because injuries have slowed down his career, no doubt. Finally, when he was starting to get in the rhythm and in the rotation with the Knicks, he had that shoulder injury that knocked him out for the year. A lot of people think I hate Cam Reddish. I'm not calling him the next Paul George. That's way too soon. Paul George is going to be a Hall of Famer in the NBA. Does he have that potential? Sure, but what's potential if you don't reach it? It's just who gives a shit. He has the tools, 6'8", He's a tough shot taker. He's a tough shot maker. He's good in the fast break. He's a guy that can attack the rim. He finishes good around the basket. He's a good catch and shoot guy from the corner. Like, there are arguments for every player on this of these three guys to start. But I just think what the Knicks need from that last spot is a defender and a catch and shoot guy. And I think that just fits with Quentin Grimes.
So before we get out of here, you're going Quentin Grimes. You're
going
typing
Quentin
6?
Grimes. I'll type 6. Look, we showed you the stats. We gave you both of our opinions. I don't know who Seeps is rolling with. I'm rolling with Grimes. I want to hear from you, and then I want to hear from Seeps.
I'm going to go Grimes as well. I was leaning, honestly, before this, I was leaning Fournier. I feel like he is still just a established scorer. But now I'm kind of seeing it off the bench. Like you said last year, 30 points or 10 points, you don't really want that as a starter, especially he's not bringing a lot defensively. I would go Quentin Grimes, kind of instill that confidence in him. He can, kind of develop.
If you weren't going to frickin' include him in a Donovan Mitchell trade, you better frickin' start him.
That's a great point. And if you're thinking about just dumping Fournier with the Randle trade, so I don't know. I would go Grimes. I would start Grimes.
Let's get this super chat that just came in the cut. Because Alan Alford, a real one who watches every single video, he said, MG, when did Quentin Grimes become an untouchable superstar? It's baffling how, if true, they would trade Barrett over him due to his unproven. I do not think Quentin Grimes is untradeable, but they weren't willing to include him in a Donovan Mitchell trade. There's some people in the Knicks organization that came out and said they think Quentin Grimes has a higher potential than RJ Barrett. I don't believe that to be true. I don't think that. I know some people think that. Supposedly, Jerry West has some connections to the Knicks front office now, and he's a huge Quentin Grimes guy. Look, if I'm going to listen to anybody about basketball, it's Jerry West. He knows more about hoops in his pinky than I do in this fat-ass head. But he is not untradeable.
I will say,
I love him, but he ain't untradeable.
Where the NBA is going,
he's the prototypical player.
Prototypical, man. I mean, he is everything that NBA GMs are looking for in a young player, is Quentin Grimes.
And a lot of people like to overreact to Summer League, and some people don't. But the way I view it is, I saw his game improve. I saw him add more to his bag. He was able to put the ball on the deck, get to the hoop, pull up, create his own shot. And he's just a good defender. He's a Tom Thibodeau player is what he is. He is a guy that Tom Thibodeau pushed to go and draft him. He pushed for him really hard. So if your head coach wanted to draft him and you didn't include him in a Donovan Mitchell trade, you better frickin' start him or this fan base, they might riot. We'll get out of here. We'll ask the question one more time. You've got all the info. You've got my mindset. You got Seeps' mindset. I think all guys can make sense as starters. But I want to hear from you. Who should start if you're the head coach? Type 13 for Fournier, 21 for Reddish, or 6 for Quentin Grimes. LNYC says Grimes is a bench player.
I was watching the chat. I was kind of chat peeping. Pretty good debates going on in the chat right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They were going back and forth. A lot of different responses. They're a lot higher on Cam Reddish than we are, dude.
A lot of people really like Cam Reddish, and I get it.
His game is sexy. Like it's a sexier game than
he's the guy that you want on 2K.
100%. Yes.
Reddish is the best 2K player out of all of them.
Yes.
No doubt about it. My thing is just like, how is he going to get the touches if he's playing next to Barrett, Brunson, and Randle?
Exactly.
There's only one basketball. Those guys all need touches.
Honestly, I think this super chat from Ralph sums up my thoughts perfectly.
Ralph with a $5 super chat. Quentin Grimes is untouchable because he has Klay Thompson-ish type of player.
High praise,
that's very high praise. I've seen the comparison.
He's nowhere near the shooter Klay is. Klay's a top 3 shooter of all time.
Yes. But that true 3-and-D guy that doesn't need to dribble, can catch and let it fire. A lot of people forget that Quentin Grimes was a top 10 recruit coming out of high school, 5-star recruit, went to Kansas. It didn't work out, had some stuff going on back home. And then he went to Houston and got him to the NCAA tournament. Like, he was a 5-star point guard coming out. A lot of people think he can't put the ball on the deck, and that's just cap. He can.
It's interesting. I mean, that year at Houston, I remember that. He had Rob Gray, too, next to him. He was a dog at Houston.
Like, what is Quentin Grimes' potential? Like his ceiling? Is he a guy that can average 14 points, shoot 40% from three, and be a lockdown defender? Because if he can, that's a player I want in my starting lineup.
That's a player every NBA GM wants right now.
Can he be Desmond Bane?
Yeah, I mean, he could be. Desmond Bane is obviously, again, high praise. We're talking potential here, but he could end up being Desmond Bane.
And after his rookie year, Desmond Bane wasn't getting love, but he went out this year and he jumped his average to 18 points per game, shot 40% from three, 50% on catch and shoot looks. I
actually love that comparison. I think that's
I think they're
good.
very similar players. And at the end of the day, you need selfless guys that want to just hoop, get buckets, win, and play defense. That's what Grimes is. That's why Tom Thibodeau pushed to draft him.
And they're around Grimes obviously more than we are. The guys in the Knicks organization, they know Grimes better than any of us. You know, there is a reason why they were so hesitant in a Donovan Mitchell trade to include Quentin Grimes, a guy who averaged 6 points a game last year. There's a reason.
Yeah.
So
they felt like they got the steal of the draft when they drafted him in the late 20s of 2021.
Yeah.
Did they? I don't know. But I hope they're right. I hope they're right. If they're not, and you didn't include him in a Mitchell trade, you're going to look dumb as shit when you get fired.
Ooh, we got a great question for the mailbag from Tricky Nicky.
Oh, Sean Hayes
Let's
with a
go.
$5 super chat. Says, I'll compare Grimes more to Jimmy Butler. Okay. I also think Reddish and RJ really flow well together on the court at the same time. We saw that last year when Reddish and RJ played together. There's a clear chemistry there, right? I mean, they're homies. They were hanging out at Duke this past weekend. They're boys. I think Butler is more of a, and I mean, Seeps, you can answer this best.
Yeah.
You've seen Butler since his rookie year play as a Bulls fan. I just think Butler's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and I think he's a little bit better of a shot creator in the mid-range especially.
Yes.
Grimes is a way better shooter.
Yes.
Like pure shooter.
Yes, pure just flick of the wrist. Grimes is way. But I will say, though.
Does Thibodeau think that's his next Jimmy Butler?
Just going to say that because Jimmy Butler, this game you see now from Jimmy.
That's not what he was when he came into the league.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. Jimmy couldn't shoot a lick coming out of Marquette. But he developed into that because he had that dog in him. I mean, from everything I've heard, Quentin Grimes, pretty damn hard worker. So I think
they say after every game, him, Emmanuel, quickly Obi Toppin, they'd go back to the court and go get shots up after. Not saying Reddish didn't do that, but there weren't ever really reports of that.
And Jimmy's got that. Listen, Jimmy takes working hard. Like, you think you work hard, but then you see the way Jimmy Butler works, it's night and day. I saw something, it was like 2 months ago. Jimmy Butler has, it was like 10 to 12 coffees a day. He has one before he goes to bed.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Jimmy Butler is another level of work ethic, but I actually don't mind that at all. The Quentin Grimes, Jimmy Butler, I mean, that would be a hell of a comparison if he does end up being like Jimmy, but similar play styles at the two.
I know. I see my guy Keith Turner says, slow your roll on Grimes. It's getting stupid now. All I'm saying is, you may think we're overrating him, but if the Knicks were not willing to include him in a Donovan Mitchell trade, take their word for it. We're not the only ones that think that. I don't think we're like overrating him. I didn't say he was Jimmy Butler. I didn't say he was Klay Thompson, but can he be a guy that gets you 14 a night, shoots 40% from three, and straps up on defense? Like, that's a winning basketball player in 2022. Can he be a slightly smaller version of Mikal Bridges? I think he's better than Bridges when the ball gets put on the deck.
And I will say, with Grimes, you look at his stats last year. If you're just going to look at the box score, you see 6 points a game. You're not going to obviously be comparing a guy like that to Jimmy Butler. Duh. But if you go look at Jimmy Butler's first couple years, I'm sure it was very similar to Grimes' numbers right now. And I just don't know. There's a reason they wouldn't include him. There's a reason they were so hesitant.
And we showed the stats. When he played more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, he produced. When he started, he produced. Yeah. What do you have, those 8 3-pointers against the Milwaukee Bucks? That's a championship-level team right there.
And he has no problem with, coming off the bench, even if that is his role. He seems like a guy that's, addicted to the process of him just becoming the best basket.
He's a Tibbs.
He's a typical Tibbs dude. You know what? If we could bet on this, I would put a lot of money that Grimes starts.
I think he does too.
More game. Maybe not right away because Tibbs is a big earn it guy. Like, he's not just going to start a guy game one, but I could see Tibbs. Quick trigger. Let me go get some defense in that backcourt.
Yeah. $5 super chat from my guy, Alan. Appreciate you, brother. He says, trading Randle opens the court for Obi and Cam. We need to know what we got in those guys. Contact time soon. Look, I think Randle being traded opens up the court for Obi and Cam. I agree. Let's not be so quick to dump Randle.
I know. It's a tricky situation.
Like,
it's
tricky, tough to sell low on a player that's been really productive. I'm only doing it if I think it's like I'm not taking a loss on a Randle trade is what I would say. Like, I got to get something back in return.
And
like that can produce.
The one Knicks or the Lakers trade you threw across the where it was like Dario or the Suns trade.
Yeah.
The Dario Saric, Landry Shamet.
Like, those guys aren't making you better.
No, you can't do that. Like, Randle will. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so funny how he left such a bad taste in Knicks fans like mouths after last season. So it's gonna be fun to watch. That's why I don't know. The Knicks are gonna be one of the more entertaining teams to watch this year.
I agree. I appreciate everybody that's super chatted so far. We are $20 away from getting to $100 in super chats. Would love to get there on the show. Once we get to $100, we'll take some fireball shots because every $50 in supers equals fireball shots. We crossed there a second ago. A run of supers came in, so I'll take a shot. And look, we're at 264 likes. Let's get to 300 likes right now. Hit that like button.
300 likes is also another shot.
Hey, let's ride.
Fireball's flowing.
382 people, 265 likes. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up icon.
Yes, sir. Tricky Nicky, I saw it. I'm saving it for the mailbag. Don't worry, I saw it. I got it in the mailbag. I already got you. Got you marked off.
Sean Wilkinson says, "Big L, I completely agree, bro. I don't know what these dudes are seeing." What did he say? Big L says, "I think Grimes can average 18 per game easy. Maybe down the line. I don't think he's ready for that his sophomore season. But look, you guys know I'm high on Grimes. I'm not as high as on him as Leon Rose, who wouldn't trade him for Donovan Mitchell. But I do think he could be a winning basketball player for a long time in this league."
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Grimes, prototypical player nowadays. I mean, who doesn't want a guy like Quentin Grimes on your team?
Keith Turner loves himself some Julius Randle, and that's okay. Big L says with 40 minutes he could average 18. I could also see Grimes being a guy that plays like 40 minutes per night, like playing a lot of minutes, being a guy that takes on the responsibility of being that guy.
Yeah, get those questions in. Use hashtag Knicks. We're going to get into a mailbag pretty soon. Chop it up, talking about what we've been talking about and more. So use hashtag Knicks. You see it at the bottom right there. Coming up live Q&A. Use hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. We actually got a ton of Super Chats that we're going to get to during the mailbag, but yeah. Oh, another one. Ralph Alexander. Shout out to you.
Ralph, my guy. What up, Brody? He says, "Nah, dump Randle for expired contract and at least a first-round pick so we can be flexible, get assets for a possible trade, and open up minutes for Obi."
Y'all hate Julius Randle right now.
I know they do.
They just want to get him out of town.
And I understand it, but, like, you don't dump him for nothing.
Yeah.
You don't dump him for nothing.
It's just too talented of a player to just dump for nothing. I will say, if you could get your hands on that 2027 LA Lakers first-round pick,
Then you do it.
I'm doing it easy.
Yeah.
Get Westbrook over here for a day, buy him out.
I don't know if there's really any team that would trade a first-round pick for Randle, though. Like, Christian Wood went for a first-round pick late in the 20s.
I'd take him any day of the week over Randle, too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's a younger player. He's a more modern player, can shoot the piss out of the ball. I think Randle at his peak, like Randle 2020, 2021, is better than Christian Wood. I just don't know if we ever get that guy again.
Yeah.
If we did and we hold on to him, then I'll call Leon Rose and say thank you for holding on to this guy, but I don't know if it actually happens. I mean, if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised because he gets Brunson, and Brunson can help him get that type of player.
I believe the Knicks would be good. Yeah. Keith Turner and Tricky Nicky are making some good points, though.
Dark Edge is right. Randle is talented. He's just kind of a baby. Kind of agree with you there.
Especially, but the thing is, if stuff's going right, you won't see that diva come out of him.
Yeah.
So, Ralph again.
Ralph says it wouldn't be for nothing. It opens cap space. You would have to get an expiring deal, though, because no team is just going to trade for Randle that's under the cap and it's going to absorb his contract. So I get what you're saying, but, like, the deal that you're talking about would be the Lakers deal, right? And that wouldn't be for nothing because you're getting a first-round pick. I'm just not trading him, like, to the Suns for Dario Saric and Landry Shamet and those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I either have to get an expiring deal so I can get off his money earlier or a future first-round pick. So, Ralph, we're on the same page, no doubt about it. It's just, I think you want to trade him by all costs, and I only want to do it if it benefits the Knicks this year and in the future.
I think Monty has a pretty good point, too. I think Brunson can help Randle out. Got to wait and see. We've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah.
Randle's numbers with Derrick Rose compared to without Derrick Rose, night and day. I can imagine his numbers with Jalen Brunson are going to go up. So that's a great point, Lance.
Nick Gay says Wood is 26, Randle is 27. Okay. I thought he was a little younger than that. But still, I think that kind of proves my point. They're the same age, and you can only get a first-round pick for Christian Wood late in the 20s, and that was after a good season with the Rockets. To think that you could get a first-round pick for Julius Randle, I think is a little ambitious. Chase, better player, Julius Randle or John Collins? For the 2022 season, who would you rather have on your team?
Slight edge to John Collins.
Okay.
I think so, too.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Less drama, more of an efficient player.
Yeah. Doesn't need the basketball as much.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with
Better,
that.
I wouldn't say a better three-point shooter, but
He's a way better
he can
lob
at least hang
threat.
out there, yeah.
Keith Turner says Randle ain't a salary dump player.
Doesn't need to control the basketball too.
Yeah, like he
Randle's
does.
a little ball dominant.
Yeah, he has to have the ball and hold it.
And ISO.
Yeah.
Off the elbow.
I'm interested though to see Brunson with Randle. Like, can Brunson be
Yeah.
the guy where it's like, yo, we're not doing that shit anymore. Like,
Pick
we're
and pop.
yeah.
He loves that elbow, Jay. And the baseline.
That's a good point.
Like Randle, when he's good, he's freaking good. But like, can't be like this in the NBA.
Credit to him for improving dramatically too.
Yeah, like that season where he was the most improved player, one of the best basketball players I've ever seen wear a Knicks uniform. No doubt about it, but consistency is key in this league.
Yeah. And plus his playoff numbers
Sucked.
they
were
was not
fucking
good
terrible.
that year. But we got another one from Ralph. He said, "Yep, but it would be for the future." Ralph, I completely get what you're saying. Like it's not like I'm disagreeing or we're disagreeing with you. It's more of we all kind of agree that we're going to move off Randle eventually, but it's kind of like you buy a stock and you're kind of waiting for it to go up and then sell it at the best time. I feel like if you sell Randle right now,
It's slow.
it's low. Like, you're not really getting anything. If you would have sold him before last season, that would have been peak Randle selling. So I would say wait a month or two because you kind of just, dumping him for nothing to get off his contract. I get it, but we'll have to see.
Like getting rid of Randle equals more playing time for Obi. So I get what you're saying. Like dumping him still, it could be addition by subtraction, but I just want to see him play with Brunson for 15 games before I give up on him. That's kind of where I'm at. I think that's an okay stance to have. Like a good point guard should make other players better. So I don't know. We're 15 likes away from 300 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get there right now. Let's get to 300 likes. We'll do some shots. And we're also $12 away from $100 in supers. Help us get there. That was the goal for today, $100 in super chats. Makes me look good for our bosses. So if you love me, you love the show, you love Seeps, and you love Knicks Live, Super Chat, help us get to 100 bones. And let's get into this mailbag right now.
Last call for the mailbag.
Hashtag Knicks if you want your question on the mailbag. Every Super Chat that comes in, we guarantee to get you on the show. So if you want to guarantee your question be answered or your thoughts be heard, if you just have an opinion and you want to Super Chat it, we'll put it up on the show. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag, which aired on our live show every Wednesday about 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central Time. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you can catch us when we go live. The only way to get your question answered is if you're a subscriber. So if you bleed blue and orange or orange and blue and you love the Knicks, hit that big red button right now. This first one coming in from Luke C. So where does IQ fit in this situation? I think he's going to be the first player off the bench this year for the New York Knicks. I think it's going to be Emmanuel Quickley. Ian Begley put out a piece last week that he has heard that Emmanuel Quickley is expected to have a bigger role. Luke, I did a video yesterday on the channel breaking down that report. Check it out. I think Quickley's going to have a big year. He just needs to be more consistent. He's kind of a streaky shooter, and sometimes in the NBA that's a problem, but we've seen the potential from IQ. He could be a walking 25-point bucket, but he also could be a guy that can go through stretches of shooting 25% from three. When he's hot, he's really good. It's year 3 now for Quickley. He's just got to be a consistent basketball player, and I think that's in the cards this year. Less of a needed production from him. I think he's going to have a big year this year. Tricky Nicky, let's talk Knicks, my guy. He said, thanks for making Wednesdays better once again. Thank you for joining the show. As always, you're a real one. Type real one in the comments if you are one. He says, question is Grimes never included in the deal by NY, but RJ was. So does that tell you, Seep, anything? I think it does, Seeps. I think the fact that you were willing to include RJ Barrett over Quentin Grimes tells you that this front office has a big picture and a big expectation for Quentin Grimes to be a good basketball player.
Yeah, I think Quentin Grimes, prototypical NBA player nowadays, he fits the 3-and-D perfectly. Obviously, I don't think this is the front office telling you they value Quentin Grimes more than RJ Barrett, but I do think Quentin Grimes is that guy. They're always just a little like, God, he has so much potential. I don't want to just give him up to a Utah Jazz and see him develop into this great player.
Yeah, and I think you're right there, Tricky Nicky. If you're not going to include him in a Donovan Mitchell trade, you better frickin' start him. You better make him a big plan of your rebuild and retool in your long-term future. You have to include him in the starting lineup and continue for him to be a guy that needs big minutes. Because, look, if you weren't willing to trade him for Donovan frickin' Mitchell, he needs to be a big part of this team going forward. $50 super chat from my guy, Charles Palmos, a legend here at New York Knicks Now. Charles, thank you. I appreciate you. You are a freaking GOAT. He says, Grimes would be a better fit for the starting lineup, but Cam has the better upside than him. And remember, guys, Thibs is coaching the team. I want you to pop in for this one, Seeps. Let's talk about this one for a little bit. I think you're right that Cam has the better upside, but what is potential if it's never reached, right? We're going into year 4. We've seen flashes of Cam Reddish. Remember the Eastern Conference Finals against the Atlanta Hawks? Shot like 70% from 3. Produced in a pressure-packed moment in meaningful basketball games. But can Cam Reddish reach his true potential as the 4th ball handler on an offense in a starting lineup that features Brunson, Barrett, and Julius Randle? I think he's just better suited right now at this stage of his career to come off the bench and be a guy that kind of dominates the ball.
And, hey, Charles, I think the point you made, remember, guys, Thibs is coaching this team.
Yes.
You talk about prototypical Thibs guys, it's Quentin Grimes. You talk about guys that Thibs wouldn't get along with, it's probably Cam Reddish, a guy who is kind of not all about himself, but he's very throw the ball to him. He's got to go make a move to get a kind of a backyard basketball type of player. When Quentin Grimes, 3-and-D, nose to the ground, playing defense, that's everything Thibs wants. We were talking about it earlier, maybe a Jimmy Butler, maybe Thibs sees Jimmy in Quentin Grimes. I think that's a great little key note that you made, Charles.
And also remember, Tom Thibodeau pushed really hard to go draft Quentin Grimes.
Yes.
And he wasn't a fan and wasn't on board with the Cam Reddish trade. That was a trade made by the front office. They went against Thibodeau's word. Not saying that Reddish isn't going to have minutes. I want him to get minutes. I want him to be a guy that comes off the bench and gets to put the rock in his hand and go create and get some ISO and push the pace, because we all agree on this channel that he has potential. Some think it's really, really high. Some think he can be a really good player. I think he just needs a chance to be able to do it. I think coming off the bench is the best chance for him. Charles, thanks for being a freaking real one, my guy. Be like Charles and subscribe to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, because we put out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors, and we're only going to continue to do more and more videos. Training camp's around the corner. The season's less than a month away. We're going to be doing live post-game shows on the channel. So if you're looking for a channel to rock out with throughout the season, we're your guys. Hit that big red button and be a real one. OG with a $20 super chat, my guy. What up, bro? He said if we need to, we can move Randle by the All-Star break. I think he'll have a better season. Rose will be the voice we need off the bench, and RJ will show growth with Brunson at the point. I agree with absolutely everything that you said, OG. I kind of agree with you. I think they want to see what Randle can be with Jalen Brunson and see if he's a guy that can get the most out of Julius Randle. This franchise values value. They don't want to make a move just for the sake of making a move. They're only going to make said move if they deem it as valuable for the team now and going forward. Let Randle play. Let him rebuild that value, because his value right now is at an all-time low. If there was a trade right now that the Knicks deemed as valuable for Randle, they would have made it. And I agree with what you said. Let him play his value up. If a trade becomes available at the All-Star break because he started to play better, then you can make it. And I also think he will have a better season. He gets to play with a real point guard. And I'm right there with you. Derrick Rose, this might sound crazy, he is the vocal leader of this team. Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, they've talked about how much that Derrick Rose has been an influence on their game and the way that they've been able to evolve. And I also agree with what you said at the end. RJ will show growth with Brunson at the point. Check, 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 check. Everything you said gets Marshall's stamp of approval, and you're a real one. Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to OG. I agree with everything you said, especially about D Rose. If you guys
Derrick Rose!
Drop a Rose in the comments right now. If you guys saw Marshall's video yesterday, D Rose playing at 195. Something to keep your eyes on right now.
The quote was, "This is the healthiest I have been in a long time." Doesn't mean he's going to go back and throwing down monster dunks and windmills.
Listen.
But if you can get 65, 70 games out of Derrick Rose this year, who was the engine of this offense when the Knicks were the 4th seed, best player on the team in the playoffs, that's going to help a lot of players on this team. Drop a Rose in the comment section.
Shout out to D Rose.
Shout out Derrick Rose. If you know the rest, you can fill it in the comment section. Steven Vargas, how do you maintain a winning culture when there's a lot of losing? That is a great question. And I host our Giants channel here at Chat Sports. And someone said rebuilding doesn't always mean losing. And I couldn't agree with that more. Because to win ball games, you have to learn how to win. And you don't learn how to win by losing ball games. And that's the way and the mindset and the outlook that this franchise's front office currently has. I don't really agree with it, but this is what they want to do. They want to build for the future while also winning now. That is a very hard thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do in all of the sports. Build for the future and build to win now. It's really hard, but if you do it right, it can be successful. The Golden State Warriors have done it. Probably not the team you want to try to mock and recreate what they bring to the table, because they've truly had one of the most dynastic runs in NBA history, but you can't maintain a winning culture when there's a lot of losing. That's why the Knicks want to win ball games. So Grimes knows how to win. So Barrett knows how to win. So Quickley and Toppin and Robinson. So those guys can learn how to win. You have to learn to win ball games if you want to implement a winning culture. Steven Vargas, great question. Charles, what up, fam? What makes you think Grimes is a good backup from just seeing one season from him? I don't think, honestly, I think he fits better as a starter, because I don't think he's at the point of his career where he can just go get the ball and get a bucket. I think he needs solid point guard play. And I think having Brunson by him and being a guy in Grimes that can just run off screens and be catch and shoot players, I think that fits his style a little better. And that's why I think Reddish and Fournier fit a little bit better off the bench because they can get more opportunities. They can get more on-ball shots. They can get more dribble time and a higher usage rate off the bench. Quentin Grimes doesn't need that. And if you have him come off the bench as just a catch-and-shoot guy that can't really create his own shot, not saying he can't, I think he can. He's got to get there. I just think he fits way better as a starter. And I don't really know if he's really a guy that I want coming off the bench because he plays the best perimeter defense on this team, and he's a guy that's just a freaking worker. That's why I think in a lineup where you got Brunson, Barrett, and Randle, 3 ball-dominant guys, that last guy next to Mitchell Robinson has to be cool with just being a guy that plays his tail off on defense and taking the occasional open shot when it comes. That's why I think Quentin Grimes is best to come off. That's why I think Grimes is best to start, not come off the bench. Wireless, Knicks. Is Cam going to get a lot of minutes? He just isn't someone who fits this lineup. I think he'd be in the Julius trade. I think if the Lakers make a trade for Julius Randle, they're going to want Cam Reddish. There's been reports multiple times that Cam Reddish is a guy that is viewed valuable in the Lakers organization, maybe because he's a Rich Paul client and Clutch Sports runs the Lakers, but I don't think he fits in the starting lineup, but I think he absolutely fits off the bench. The dude is 6'8". He's athletic. He can get to the cup. He's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker. He just got to get the minutes and the touches to be effective. And I think off the bench, he'll get that best opportunity. Dylan Rodriguez, Brunson, a top 10 point guard. I truly believe he's right around there. I think he's top 13, top 14. I really think he's going to prove a lot of Knicks fans wrong this season. People said he was an overpay. People think he's not that good. I think he's going to prove a lot of freaking people wrong this year. Name me another point guard that's dropped 40 points in the playoffs in a dub without their best player right beside him. I can't wait for Jalen Brunson to be a fan favorite in 6 months. It's going to be freaking awesome. I'll ask you guys this question. 39.5 wins for the New York Knicks this season. That's the Vegas betting line. Let me know what you're thinking. Type O for over, type U for under. Remember, this team won 37 games last year with Alec Burks as their primary starting point guard. I'll leave it up to you. Type O for over, U for under. Let me know what you think. Ralph, what up, bro? A real one. Fournier is overrated. Trade him for a first-round pick. He's overpaid for a 6-man type of level of player. I don't necessarily disagree. Shoot, man, you get a guy that shoots 40% from 3 and averages 15 points a night, and you're only paying him, you're paying him $18 million. That's a lot of money, no doubt, but, Fournier is a guy that can produce. He's a guy that can black out and get white hot and carry this team offensively. We saw that multiple times last year. I just think he is a 6-man. He might be a little overpaid as a 6-man. $18 million for a 6-man's a lot, but I'm not out on Fournier. I want to give him another year with a real point guard on this roster. I want to do that for a lot of people. Maybe I'm taking the easy way out, but I think Brunson's a guy that can really elevate the level of play for a lot of people on this roster. Last question on this mailbag. Shout out to Charles. I understand the stats of Randle when he's playing with a point guard, but what about the stats when he played with Rose in the playoffs? Very fair point. That's the reason why I don't trust Randle with a point guard. That is a very fair point, Charles. I just think Randle, he was emotionally done and cooked in that playoff series. He couldn't hit a shot. He kind of let his jumper and his success of his jumper dictate kind of the player that he was. And that's never what you want someone to do. You don't want someone that's starting to miss shots. Let that affect the rest of their game. Look at Andrew Wiggins in the finals. He shot 33% from 3. But what did he do? He brought it even more on defense. He found ways to affect the ball game. That's what we need Julius Randle to do. He's having a rough shooting stretch. He's not being able to connect from downtown. Push the pace. Get easy shots. Be a guy on defense that can contribute. You have to find other ways to contribute. If your jump shot's not falling, that's my biggest worry with Julius Randle. I still think he'll have a better year with Brunson, but I think you make a great point about the Rose stats in the playoffs when Randle shot 15% from 3. I appreciate everybody that made New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, drop a real one in the comment section. Because look, if you're watching the show this far, You're a freaking real one. Drop one in the comments right now. Oh, man. It's a good point by Charles. I just think, though, Julius was done at that point. Woo!
Charles, you just dropped this bomb in the middle of the mailbag. Marsh and I had to, we had to like compose ourselves a little bit.
$50 super chat from Charles.
Yeah. Shout out to you. And then we also got this one to give a kind of post-game shout out to OG.
OG with the $20 super chat. Shout out to you. Oh, Jason B. He's coming in and he's making us feel his wrath. Alrighty, $50. You guys know the rules. Tequila shot. I'll take a tequila shot for my guy Charles. Woo! Salute to you, Brody.
See, Jason B says, I want to see Randle turn things around this year with Brunson. He needs to stop overthinking, stop letting the environment get into his head, and be a leader. I mean, it's a great point.
You're voicing my thoughts better than I feel like I can.
Yeah, I was
Jason. We all want, no one on this, if you're watching this stream and you want Julius Randle to fail, I hate saying this, but you're not really a Knicks fan. If the guy's wearing orange and blue, you got to root like hell for him to be a good basketball player. And Randle has that potential, no doubt about it. I think you're right. He's got to stop overthinking stuff.
Yep.
Stop letting the fans booing him and the chatter and the noise get to him. Because that clearly affected his game last season. I really think, Jason, that Jalen Brunson can get the best out of Julius Randle. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic. Maybe I'm being a blind apologist for the New York Knicks. But there's just something in me that says Jalen Brunson will make Julius Randle a good basketball player.
And my point about Jalen Brunson has been, he's been a winner in high school, 2 state championships, winner at Villanova, 2 national championships. He comes from winning cultures his entire life. His dad was a basketball, obviously, he's the coach of the freaking Knicks. I think Jalen Brunson, the winning culture he's going to bring, he knows what it's like to win at the highest level. Winning 2 national championships in college, that's not just something a lot of people just do. I mean, winning March Madness 2 times, as the first time he won, he was the 6th man coming off the bench. The second time he won, he was the freaking man at Villanova. And Marsh, he mentioned it earlier, smaller guard, similar size guard on Jalen Brunson. He's going straight to the post, and he is dominating that guy. If you guys want something fun to watch tonight, look up Jalen Brunson Villanova highlights. It'll really get you fired up.
I really think people are sleeping on Brunson.
I think they are. I really think they are. I just think they see an undersized guard, and they automatically kind of categorize him as a certain type of player. Dude, the Chris Paul comparison, a little absurd, but he doesn't have the bunnies that Chris Paul did in his earlier career. But that kind of true point guard and big out. I don't know if you just freaking heard me say that or you typed that at the same time I was talking. That's incredible. I'm putting that up.
I'm going to take a tequila shot because Jason B sent in 25 and OG sent in 20. That's $45. That's enough from 50, and I kind of want to take another one, so I'm going to take one.
Big L, let me know if did you hear me saying that, or were you typing that out as I was saying it? Because that's pretty incredible. That's some telepathy.
Big L sent me a photo of him rocking his Real One shirt. His man cave is badass.
Really?
Dude. Yeah, Knicks flags, it's badass.
Oh, was it? He was the one with the Knicks, Giants, and Yankees flag, I think.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
Nope, I was typing it. Big L, that's pretty freaking cool, man.
It's pretty freaking cool, man.
Pretty freaking cool. More like Lowry with the Raptors. Okay, I could see it. I think Brunson's a better player than.
I think they're way different.
Yeah, they are. They just have different play styles. I mean, Brunson's incredible. I can't wait to see you Knicks fans actually have a true. Marsh has been saying it, to have a true point guard. You guys literally have a chance to have the starting point guard in the All-Star game, and I'm not just saying that. Like, if he leads the Knicks and he's having a great year at 24 and 8 a game, he's got a chance. Obviously, there's some good point guards in the East, but Brunson's definitely on All-Star watch. If there's a guy, first-time All-Star, that I'll put my money on this year, it would be Jalen Brunson. B.J. Armstrong with the Bulls. I don't know. Just thought it made sense. That's I mean, it's interesting. Brunson's a way better just scorer and distributor than BJ.
My kind of comparison, I've said it before, is if he has the cool, calm, and the way he plays. He's never sped up, never taken it out of his game. Kind of a bigger guard, like smaller but bigger.
Yeah, stocky.
I get Chauncey Billups vibes from that. But I also feel like the way he's able to maneuver in the paint and finish around the basket with the crafty finishes is like Tony Parker. Like, if you were able to create those two guys in a lab, that's what I see as Jalen Brunson. Like, he's a real point guard, and he's just never afraid of the moment.
Yeah,
no
never.
moment's too big for Brunson.
Well, it's because he's been in the moment. I mean, he's played in Final Fours and national championships. I mean, that's as big as a stage as it gets. Like, obviously, the NBA is a whole different level, but he's been playing in championship games his whole life. We'll throw this up from Jason B. Brunson seems ice. I think he means ice cold, or maybe saying nice.
Nice.
If he can help Randle avoid mental collapses, it would be huge. Winning culture, he instills it.
I don't know if Brunson needs to go up to Randle and be like, yo, it's not your team anymore. It's not my team either, but it's our team. And you're bullshit pouting and crying and complaining, and ice equals cool and
Ice,
calm.
cool and,
I
hell
like
yeah.
that. I'm
I
going to start
love it.
using that. I'm going to start using that.
I love it.
I just think he brings that type of energy to your squad, man. Like, he is mentally strong, Jason, and he needs to be able to be the leader of this team. And I think he will be. That's why he came to the Knicks, right? To be the captain, to be the leader, to be the guy that takes the tough shots and makes the tough shots. Because, look, you don't leave Luka Doncic to go be a sidekick somewhere else. He left Dallas to be the head dog and the head honcho of the New York Knicks. Delmar is right. We haven't had a point guard like Jalen Brunson in a really long time. Seriously, guys, what point guard? OG says, nah, don't wish that, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean, OG? Says, nah, don't wish that, bro. Did I miss something? Let me know. I just think Brunson is really going to be great, man. I really do. Big L says, Star J said he wants to be an all-star this year. We might have 2 potential all-stars if Brunson makes the Knicks look good. I think the player that has the chance to be an all-star this year is Brunson. I think he does. I was just telling him, Seeps. Jalen Brunson didn't leave the Mavericks next to playing to Luka Doncic to not be the lead dog.
That's a good point. I mean, if you're leaving Luka,
You're right, OG. We don't wish injuries on anybody. That's freaking terrible person.
I got to admit, slight flex. My laptop is at 1%. I plugged it in as it hit 0%.
That's clutch.
It's literally sitting at 0% right now.
And it's still on?
It's still on.
That's electric.
It's pretty electric. Michael Parker.
Michael! My guy!
Let's go.
Guys, we're $7 away from $200 in super chats. Let's freaking get there. Let's go. Shout out to Michael.
Shout out to you guys.
I think Michael is a first timer on here. Is this your super chat cherry being popped, Michael? Let me know. He says, would it be possible to package Randle along with a first and second round pick for Ben Simmons?
Ooh, I haven't even thought of that. Michael.
I don't want Ben Simmons. I would rather have Randle than Ben Simmons.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want something interesting to watch, JJ Redick, his podcast is fantastic. He just had Ben Simmons on today, and that's what I'm going to go watch after the show.
Okay.
Apparently he talks about like all of the mental and the mental health issues, but would it be possible to package Randle along with a first and a second for Ben Simmons?
Possible, sure, but why?
Yeah. But you get an elite defender. Elite defender, Marshall.
He is.
He can guard 1 through 5 better
Is-
than anybody.
I'll ask you this question. Is he a basketball player or a celebrity? I think there's a huge difference there. Does he love to hoop? Does he bleed basketball? Will he wear a Knicks jersey proud and do everything he can to make them great? I think Randle will. Will he do it? Probably not. But I just think his drive and his want to is higher than Simmons. I have so many concerns about Simmons.
I agree. There's a ton
And
to
he
be
can't
concerned.
freaking shoot.
But he's also, like, you talk about just, like, natural talent.
He is.
The 6'10 frame, and he looks like he runs a 4.4 40. I don't know. Like, you talk about a 6'10 athletic Draymond Green, but Draymond's intangibles are off the chart compared
Draymond
to
is
Ben
going to
Simmons.
compete harder than anybody else. I've never got that vibe from Ben Simmons.
Never.
I'll ask you guys this. Who would you rather have? Type JR for Julius Randle or BS for Ben Simmons? Let me know. JR for Julius Randle, BS for Ben Simmons. I want to hear from y'all in the chat. Sound off.
That's going to be interesting.
Charles says JR. Tricky Nicky says JR.
I don't know. I feel like you guys
Vargas says JR. Ron Dixon says JR. Will Latimer says JR. Jason B. That's why Jason B is a real one. F Ben Simmons, F Durant, and F Danny Ainge.
I don't know. I feel
Michael
like
Parker says BS.
Dude, I think I'm leaning Ben Simmons.
Tell him why. Why would you rather have him? Tell him.
Because defensively, it's not even close. It's not even close. And I think if you're looking at the Knicks roster, you're going to have scoring with RJ and Jalen Brunson. But defensively, if you could go RJ Barrett next to Ben Simmons, next to Quentin Grimes, with Mitchell Robinson as your rim
play,
protector.
though, with Mitchell Robinson and Simmons on the court?
God damn it, that's another good point.
How is Brunson going to cook in the paint?
I know. He's just such a liability offensively.
Ron Dixon says, I'm an Aussie. I would have JR over Ben.
I think that's our answer right there.
And the back injuries.
I know, but dude, I just feel like people are forgetting how good and valuable Ben Simmons actually is on a basketball court. Like, yes, if you're thinking like half-court offense, probably not the most valuable guy. But when the game's up and down, like the NBA is nowadays, that kind of open gym feel, I don't know. And Charles, great point. I mean, you're not going to trust Ben Simmons right now. What was the number one pick? I'll throw up Ralph's right now. This is actually very interesting. Oh no, Marsh, are you fully set on?
Yeah.
You're taking Julius Randle.
Yeah, I can't trust Ben Simmons.
But you trust Julius.
I've seen him do it.
I mean, you've seen Ben Simmons make 2 All-Star games. He was all NBA.
That was like
for defensively.
3 years ago, though. I saw him in the playoffs fold like a lawn chair.
No, but you also saw Julius Randle fold like a lawn chair in the playoffs,
At least he
too.
went out and fought, though. This dude passed up a wide open dunk.
I understand, but if you put him around the right... See, I don't know if the Knicks have enough scoring and enough shooting around him, but...
The only way...
That's interesting.
Like, he'd have to be like a small ball center.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he could play next to another guy that can't shoot.
But how many minutes do you think Mitchell Robinson gets per game?
This year, probably like 25 to 28.
I mean, could you imagine that small ball lineup? Think about this. Brunson, Grimes, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Ben Simmons. That's a pretty elite group.
Jason B.
All right.
I think we were like lost long brothers in a past life. The fact that you just said douchey gets me freaking hyped.
That's a good point. I mean,
Simmons
he is
has
a
no
douchebag.
heart,
No,
and he's
he
a
is no.
douche.
I know.
Hard no, Randall all day.
Okay.
Big L says he's rather take back Porzingis.
Okay.
I don't know.
I feel like any NBA fan base, when they ask about Ben Simmons, every fan base is like, no, I wouldn't want Ben Simmons on my team. Shit, I'm a Bulls fan. I would probably be saying the same thing you guys are now, but I don't know. Simmons is washed. Those back injuries are definitely a concern.
Pour me up a fireball shot for Jason B. Over his fireball. Gets my symptoms out there. I actually owe another one. 2 fireball shots because we just got to $200 in Super Chats. Shout out to Jason B., a legend.
Yeah.
Jason, I don't get to watch the chat as much as I want. Jason, who would you start between Grimes, Fournier, and Resch? I want to ask just Jason. I just want to hear from Jason. Everybody can answer, but now that I have my eyes on the chat, I want to, if you just comment, Jason, we'll put it up on screen. You don't got a super chat. I'm right there with you, Steven. Jason, yeah, says Grimes.
Yeah, Marsh and I were both leaning Grimes in this, but it's definitely up for debate.
Ralph says put Ben Simmons at power forward. He played it in college. Jason B says Fournier for shooting to keep value high if we trade. Okay.
All right.
Like, see, I understand all 3 sides. No doubt about it. It's just your defense is kind of bad if you start Fournier.
It's bad.
Like, Brunson isn't a bad defender. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a good defender either. Above average is what I would call Brunson because he's so smart and he takes a lot of charges. And another reason that I would lean Grimes over Fournier, because if you start Fournier, right, who's guarding the other team's best wing offensive player every night?
It's going to have to be RJ.
And that takes away from his offense.
Yeah.
Whereas if Quentin Grimes is that guy, Barrett gets to, I don't want to say conserve his offense, but doesn't waste his energy just being a defender. Something I kind of think about.
Rich Rob,
you do not have to apologize,
you're good.
Rich Rob. If you ever say I'm sorry again, you're going to piss me off. Do not do that. You're a freaking real one. You know you don't got to apologize. Big L said perfectly.
Yeah.
That's why you're my dude, Big L.
You and Big L are
we're on the same page.
Same wavelength.
I just think if you start Fournier, that means RJ has to be your best wing defender, and he's a good wing defender, but I need him to keep getting better on offense.
He's going to get absolutely exhausted.
Exactly, chasing around other 6'8" wings all night.
And then what happens when you go against the Atlanta Hawks? Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and you're starting Brunson and Fournier.
Yeah.
Could get ugly.
Yeah. R.S. Marcus says, I hate when people talk like we haven't had a point guard since the 90s. Jeremy Lin was good and a cerebral player. If you thought Jeremy Lin was good, wait till you watch Jalen Brunson play basketball. Jeremy Lin had a great stretch, no doubt about it. One of the best stories in NBA history. But if Jalen Brunson and Jeremy Lin played one-on-one 100 times, Brunson would win 100 times.
I completely agree.
He would dominate Lin.
They're just not on the same
Could you imagine
level.
Jalen Brunson in a Mike D'Antoni offense where all you do is run point guard pick and rolls? Brunson could average 30.
Easily. With Melo next to him? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think the skill level is frankly close in what they've accomplished. But, I mean, I agree with Marsh. They haven't had a true point guard since the 90s. Jeremy Lin, he was great for what?
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Like, Brunson's going to be great for 4 years here, averaging 20-plus, at least 6 assists a game. So,
Rich Rob coming in with the heat. Brunson will bring structure and balance. No doubt about it.
Right away. Yeah, that's
Berto's right. Brunson could. I truly believe that. If you crafted your team around Jalen Brunson and Mike D'Antoni, every point guard with Mike D'Antoni goes off. It's just a fact. Nate Robinson averaged almost 20 with Mike D'Antoni. Brunson could average 30.
Yeah, easily. And plus, we've been talking about culture. Rich Rob a lot. You missed it. But that culture that Brunson's going to bring in, it's going to be fantastic. He's going to hold guys to standards. He's going to have that leadership role. But, yeah, Brunson, the structure and balance. And I mentioned it earlier. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left.
How many
Everybody
fourth quarter
take a deep
leads
breath.
did this team blow last year? Too many to frickin' count. Jalen Brunson is the guy. You're up 6. It's like he's dribbling. It's like Slow it down.
Yeah, we're good.
Slow it down. Space it out. Let me go get a bucket, and let's reset this game. Jason B. saying Rich Rob is right. He is right. Y'all are both right.
Yeah.
Charles is right, too. He said Lynn didn't play in the playoffs. And then he screwed us in free agency, signing with the Rockets.
Yeah.
John Kim says, what? Lynn torched Kobe and Darren Williams. He didn't torch Kobe. He torched the Lakers.
Yeah.
Kobe wasn't guarding him every time down the court. I think Jordan Farmar was.
And plus,
look, we're not hating on Jeremy Lin.
This is not. It's unfair to Jeremy Lin to compare him to Jalen Brunson.
It really
who had
is
42
unfair.
in the playoffs. Lin was great. He was great for that 3-week stretch, but. Yes.
Angel says Lin's sanity would fuck Brunson. That sounds super sus, but no, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
I
All right,
can't wait
hold on.
for in
This is
2
great.
months for you guys to have like a different mindset on Brunson.
I can't wait either, Marsh.
There's a reason Linsanity is getting a series with HBO. It was one of the most exciting times to be a fan of the New York Knicks.
Yes, just a fan of basketball. It was great. He had a great story, but it was a Super Bowl atmosphere for 2 weeks straight. It was 2 weeks in the NBA regular season. I'd rather take Jalen Brunson dropping 40 in the playoffs on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. I don't even like doing this right now.
Yeah, like I feel like
I don't want to put down
I hate how,
Jeremy.
how society nowadays is, because you don't say someone is absolutely great or something along those lines. Linsanity would bully that little dude. Are y'all serious?
Go watch Jalen Brunson Villanova highlights right now before you talk about.
Let's do this.
I'm not going to take that serious.
Better basketball player in their prime. Type JL for Jeremy Lin or JB for Jalen Brunson.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Come on.
JL for Jeremy Lin or JB for Jalen Brunson. Who's a better basketball player?
There it is, Charles. I'm just thinking that. I remember that being a narrative because I remember Kobe in an interview talked about that. He said it was driving him crazy in that game where Jeremy Lin had 38 against the Lakers.
Jason B said, I think he's messing with you guys. Jason,
I don't think he is,
There's like
Jason.
5 people that are typing JL. Jason, the other Jason, your red is saying it. I can't believe this.
Jeremy Lin just took the hearts of Knicks fans, and he still has them.
I bet some people think Jeremy Lin's better than Carmelo.
That escalated quickly. Yes, it did. Oh, gee. Shout out to you.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure
Yeah.
we're all on the same page.
We're getting a lot of JBs. in
John
now.
Kim says yes. I get it. I love Jeremy Lin. He was my phone background for 3 weeks. He ain't Brunson.
Sure, he was 100,000 Knicks fans' phone backgrounds for that stretch, too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely taking JB.
And
Some JL's coming in now.
Ralph Alexander is saying the Knicks' last good point guard was Marbury. I agree. 2004 was the last time the Knicks had a great point guard. That was Stephon Marbury.
That's a good point, Ralph. Yeah, you forget.
Your red says JB is a midget for $100 million. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that word. I was just reading the comments,
Yeah.
not what I said.
Yeah.
Merge has me dead. You see what they say? Lin was like a pair of kicks that got played out in a
Putting
week.
that on. That's a great. Yep. Because once teams started to realize, like Charles said, he can only go right, and he's got a certain amount of moves. See, I don't like talking shit about Jeremy Lin right now. I don't like doing this.
Like, he was good.
He was awesome. He's still awesome, but
He ain't Brunson.
he's not Brunson. And you guys will see. I'm gonna come back a month into the season. Marsh and I might have a live show titled "Jalen Brunson is better than Jeremy Lin," and you guys can all hop on in.
Yeah. Alrighty, we've been live for 2 hours now. I'm a little under the weather. Kind of want to go home and just go to sleep. So I'll do this. Any super chats that roll in the next 2 minutes, we'll stay and answer those lives. Answer those live, Jesus. And any super chat that comes in the next 2 minutes, send it now. We'll stay live to answer those for as ever long as it takes. If not, we're going to sign off because I need to go get some NyQuil and get better for tomorrow because today frickin' sucked.
Shout out to you guys, though. Great stream overall.
315 people watching still.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Really?
$200 in soups. Last name, first name, just type super chat. That's hilarious. I'm going to take a shot for the real ones.
Did it help your sinuses at all?
Yeah, it kind of made me forget about them, but
Yeah.
it's definitely coming up now.
It's kind of when you're hungover. Oh, no.
Carl, yo, I'm mad late. You are mad late, bro. We've been live 2 hours.
Shout out to you, Carl, joining in late. You're always a real one. You've been in here the whole time, so.
Jason B, thank you for doing what you do, bro.
Yeah, you carry us, Jason B. Don't forget that.
Charles, you're right. When he left, he wanted more money. That he signed that poison pill contract with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah. What's good, Carl? Glad to have you in here at the end. We just put the shot clock on, though, unfortunately. Obviously, you can go back and watch this. But, yeah, it was a great show.
Steven, yeah, we're mixing Fireball and Patron because we ain't scared.
We're trained professionals.
Yeah. All right, 15 seconds left on the shot clock. If anyone wants to do that. Is Jonesy still here? He usually owes a boot.
I didn't see him in there when I walked back.
You didn't see him?
No.
Ralph, my guy, $5 super chat. Ralph, what up? He says, the only thing I want to see with Brunson is that he uses his right more. We've seen RJ do it last year. That's not really a narrative with Brunson, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, maybe it's just because, I don't know, you're assuming a lefty can't go.
Lefty goes left, but.
Jalen Brunson's a pretty complete, like, skill-wise, there's not a lot he can't do. Like,
Yeah.
He's got a lot in his bag. Like, I don't know. You guys will see, man. I'm just wait and see. You guys are going to see how actually just purely talented
I
this
wouldn't
guy
say
is.
he's obviously not as strong with his right as his left, but, like, he's not a guy that can't go right.
He can he can go right. I mean, not as easily as he goes left, but, yeah, Brunson, he uses both. He's got he's a very polished player right now. How old is Brunson? 20?
He's 26, just turned 26.
I mean, he's 26, and
He's not even close to a finished product either.
No, and he's already, like, his game is already very well-rounded, so.
Carl says, my bosses were being goofy, not letting me bounce early. I'm dead. Your Red says he's a JV guard. That's a damn good JV basketball team.
Steven, appreciate you not doubting JB. You guys will see. I mean, I don't think you guys realize, like, what he did when Luka wasn't in the playoffs. Like, playoff basketball is a completely different atmosphere than regular season basketball, obviously. But getting 2 wins without Luka there.
40 and like 33.
I mean, that series could have been over easily if he didn't show up. And listen, he wasn't the number 1 option all year. And then immediately in the playoffs, he's thrown in to being the number 1 role. I don't know.
Carl says, guys, hold me down. You can't shut it down.
Carl, Marsh has been battling. He's been pretty sick. We would love to stay here all day.
Carl,
you're real. Yeah,
that's the comment of the night.
Yeah, Carl, I wish I could throw that on screen, Carl. I wish I could throw that on screen.
Oh, boo, how Marsh. I'm dead. I'm dead. Carl, am I not being a real one?
Harrison saying Carl says stay live. I know. We do have 310 live.
We do.
Should we go 5-minute shot clock?
How about this? We'll do this. This is for Carl and Carl only.
Yeah.
But everybody can contribute. Every super chat that comes in the next 2 minutes, every super that comes in the next 10 minutes, every super equals 5 more minutes of live. I think that's a fair deal.
All right, let's do it.
Every super chat that comes in the next 2 minutes, we'll stay live for 5 minutes.
Yes.
So if one comes in, 5 minutes. If two comes in, 10 minutes. If 10 come in, we're going to be live for another 50 minutes.
Yes.
But I think that's fair.
I think it's fair, too. Only doing this for you, Carl.
For Carl, this is for you. Raymond Fowler says, what's a super chat? Raymond, if you click the money icon under the comment section, you click that, you can donate to the show, and it helps us do a lot of stuff. Hire people, expand the office space like we did, get more studios, more studio time, all stuff of that nature.
Will's here, too. Will Latmer, he was a little MVP last time.
Will was an MVP of the show. We here, Marsh. Last name, first name says, I just got an ad, 3+ minutes. Look, I guess y'all don't want us to stay live.
That's fine.
That's fine. All right, there's one from OG. We'll stay live for 5 minutes. OG sent in a $2 super chat. We got 30 more seconds. Every super chat that comes in, we'll stay live another 5 more minutes.
7:21 right now, so we're here till 7:26. Carl. Oh, this is a Walking Dead reference. I just got it, OG. That's awesome. Carl.
All right. I do got to use the restroom, though, so
right,
Steve,
I'll
hold down the fort.
Yeah. I'll talk with you guys for a little bit. Carl, it's all for you, man. All for you. Yeah, OG, bingo. The Walking Dead, OG, great show until about I think it was maybe season 5 or 6, whenever they killed the governor. That's when the kind of show went downhill. That's kind of when it went downhill. Carl says, stop playing, y'all will never sleep. Yeah. Carl, this is all for you. Yeah, great reference, though, Harrison. I know Harrison's a Walking Dead guy. We got Murs. She said, Brunson is a dog, a leader who cares about physical traits. He possesses that man, mamba, killer instinct.
Hey,
yeah.
we got breaking news. TJ said he'll do a boot for $100 super. We've got to be in the next 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. I just got breaking news coming in. Tyler Jones. You guys know Tyler. $100 super chat comes in. We got a boot on hand. And we'll be live for a good amount of time after. $100 super chat. Tyler's still here in the office. I'm putting that out there. He just came in here and said that. He wants to stay live. He wants to come kill a boot for the Knicks fans. No pressure, just putting it out there. Marsh and I are going to stay live for a little more, chopping it up. If you guys want to stay live for a long time, $100, we got a boot coming your way. Here we go, Carl. Carl, this is actually a great question from you because the Bulls did not have a good day today. The Bulls did not have a good day. It says, Ginger Assassin, what's the situation with the Bulls, though? So if you didn't hear, the Chicago Bulls actually, Lonzo Ball, he's going to have to get another surgery done. And it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks this time, and then he'll get reevaluated. Kind of sucks. But, Lonzo, I think he's kind of the key piece for the Bulls this year. I think, he's that 6'6" point guard, great distributor, can D up 1 through 3, pretty much any guard in the NBA. And if you've got a smaller guard, Lonzo really can clamp down. OG, it really sucks to hear about Lonzo because Lonzo's a guy I root for. I'm sure you guys have your guys on the Knicks that you just kind of root for them as a person. I'm sure Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, similar to you guys, but Lonzo's one of those guys, man. I mean, originally the report came out last December. So think about this. Last NBA season when Lonzo originally went down, it was supposed to be a 6 to 8 week injury, and how he's still not back. I mean, there was concerns that he might not be able to play again. So, it does suck. I was very, just kind of taken away by the Lonzo news today because you kind of root for a guy like that. Really sucks to hear, but yeah. I'm a Knick, but I got to check on your squad. Yeah, hell yeah, Carl. Thanks for checking in on the Bulls, man. Yeah, it was tough, the Lonzo news today. But, what's going to happen? Yeah, OG, it is looking like he'll be out for a year. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna jump to that. It says 4 to 6 weeks right now, so I'm not thinking it's going to be a year, but it's been a year since the original report. So, and we have really no timetable. It's not even like, hey, 4 to 6 weeks, he'll start rehab again. It's 4 to 6 weeks, he'll be reevaluated. It sucks.
No takers on the Jonesy boot?
No takers so far on the $100 Jonesy boot, but, you know, it was a great stream. It was a great stream.
All righty. We'll do this. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. 7:30 our time.
7:30. If any soups roll in during that, we'll add another 5 minutes.
Yeah. And the Jonesy boot, that comes in, we'll be live for a while.
Yeah, if someone sends in a $100 super chat, Jones will do the boot, and we'll stay for like another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? Yeah, the knee is not better for Lonzo. No, it's not better. And that's why he's getting another surgery done on it. So,
if someone comes through with this $100 super chat, it's going to be electric because I need Jonesy to do the boot. Charles says you want to split it. If Charles sends 50 and Big L says 50, that counts. Counts.
Look at the two powerhouses just merging. It's the two houses
Make it
coming
happen.
as one.
Make it happen. Come on, Charles and Big L. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a shot because I need to turn up for you guys.
Ooh.
Is Big L in the chat? Marsh, do you and the Assassin debate on who's got the best squad? Not really, no.
Yeah.
I think talent-wise, the Bulls have a little more talent.
Yeah.
But if Lonzo does not play this year, I do think they're a team that could take a step back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Bulls' front court. I'm not a big Nikola Vucevic guy. I've said that a little bit. But, yeah, me and Marsh, I mean, maybe that's something we could start talking about more, especially if Lonzo's not there.
Carl is calling on Big L and Charles to deliver. Look, Jonesy was almost running out of here, so if it's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
Yeah.
I believe in you guys. I believe in you.
Get Kemba on the Bulls? I mean, I don't know. I don't think Kemba would be the best fit for the Bulls. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah. John Kim, that's sad news for Lonzo always. Yeah, I agree. Sad news for the guy. But, you know, we still got Caruso, Kobe White, obviously Levine. I still like our backcourt a lot. But, you know, I'm excited to see what Patrick Williams can do. LNYC.
LNYC said we're going to stay another 5 minutes.
Let's go.
Charles or Big L, I think if you send a 50, the other one's going to match it. Like, you just have to. You have to.
Shout out to you, LNYC. Is LaMelo better than Lonzo? Probably. I wonder if they play one-on-one, who would win? Who do you think would win that? He's the big brother.
Like, the big brother always has to
And he
win.
can D up.
Yeah.
He's one of the best defensive guards in the –
I think he would body him a little bit.
Marsh, I was going to ask you, who is Quentin Rose?
You mean Quentin Grimes?
No, Quentin Rose. I've heard this name a lot in the chat today. I don't know if the Knicks signed him. Because that was going on a lot at the beginning.
Oh, I think it happened an hour ago while we were live. Hold on, let me check my Twitter.
How long has LaMelo been better? I mean, he probably just got better than him this past year. LaMelo has definitely got great potential.
So the Knicks have signed Quentin Rose. We missed it because we were live. The New York Knicks announced today that the team has signed guard Quentin Rose to a contract. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. Rose is 6'8", 185 pounds, and appeared in 31 total games last year for the Westchester Knicks, averaging 7.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists over 23 minutes. He also appeared in 3 games for the Knicks Summer League entry in July, recording 1.3 points and 1.3 rebounds over 4 minutes. The Rochester, New York native played 4 seasons at Temple, recording 14.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists over 31.3 minutes in 130 games. A 2-time All-AAC second-team selection, Rose led the Owls to the NCAA tournament during his junior year, averaging 16, 4, and 2.5 assists over 35 minutes and 33 games. I've never heard of the guy. I saw him in the Summer League for the Knicks, but I don't really know too much about him. I'll do my homework tonight and we'll do a video on it, but this is a training camp deal for the Knicks. They now have 19 people on the training camp roster. You can get up to 20 people. So definitely a training camp deal. He'll have a chance to fight for the roster, but who knows if he'll actually make it.
Trade for Cole Anthony on the Bulls. Don't.
Damn, no takers on the Jonesy boot. Kind of upsetting. Oh, Charles sends in a 50-piece.
Oh.
If we get another $50 super chat, Jonesy's
right.
taking the boot. He's taking the boot. Come on.
Wow.
Someone match him. Someone match him. Come on. I'll take a shot at tequila.
Yeah, salute Mr. Pommels.
Mr. Pommels. Let's go.
It's hooking y'all up. Yeah.
Jones, come here real quick.
Yeah, Jones.
Come here, Jonesy.
Want to hand me the bottle real quick?
Come here, Jones. So we got a 50-piece.
I'm already packed up. I'm leaving right now.
He's packed up. It has
Listen.
to be now.
I have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock.
1 minute shot clock.
1 minute right now.
1 minute. It has to come within the next. How do you go to like the?
Shout out to you, though, Charles. Freaking awesome, man.
Clock's running.
It's got to be in the next minute. A $50 super chat, and Jonesy will do a boot. That's 3 beers and a glass boot, and he'll chug it.
What about half a boot?
2 beers?
2 beers? No, it's got to be.
It's got to. You're.
Oh!
Get it ready.
I'll go get it.
ready.
I'll go get it.
I'll get it. Talk to him.
You got it. Yeah, Jones.
Big
Mike.
Al, you're a freaking
Yeah,
animal.
Big Al. Shout out to you, man.
Big Al, get
Wow.
it done. Welcome into Oklahoma City Thunder today.
No,
I'm
no,
Driver Jones.
Wow. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Big Al.
I think now it's officially a Thunder show.
You think it's a
Yeah.
Thunder show?
Yeah.
Are we turning it into a Thunder show right
I think
now?
so. We are very pro Chet Holmgren around here.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander sprained his MCL today with the
That
latest
just helps
Thunder news.
the tank reference.
Yeah, the tanks for the Thunder.
The tank is on.
Cheers to Big Al and Charles. You guys
Yeah.
talk about coming through. Fourth quarter. MSG, down by 2. Big L, or Charles, pick and roll with Big L. Lob it up to Big L. He dunks it. You know the D Wade photo where he's throwing the lob back to LeBron? That was like Charles throwing it back to Big L right there.
Oh, it was. That was clutch.
That was clutch. Shout out to you guys.
You guys
Wow.
are the real ones.
Real ones.
Are we gonna break a record today?
I don't know. What are you feeling right now, Jones?
It depends on what boot he grabs me.
Okay. What boot do you prefer? The one with the rim or the one without
The
the
one
rim?
without the rim.
Okay, what are you thinking with the one without the rim?
The one without the rim, I can get under 15.
Really? Okay.
Marsh, get me the boot without the rim. Let's see what he puts together. Obi Toppin, is it time to trade him?
No, it's not time to trade over yet. No, not yet.
Okay.
Jonesy's a big Thunders guy.
I'm trying to think. What can I talk about with the Knicks? Is D Rose still around?
D Rose is around,
Okay.
and he's looking good apparently. So.
Man, I
Oh,
missed
Tricky Nicky remembers the Taco Bell from last week.
no Taco Bell. Well, I got to hop on a Zoom call at 8 o'clock, and I need to eat something before then.
Maybe Taco Bell could be a quick.
I might have to do Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, Marsh is preparing the boot for you guys right now. You guys are about to see 3 beers get deleted in around 15 to 25 seconds.
Last name, first name, LOL. Oh,
Big L says disposable income. Yes. Shout out to you guys. Charles and Big L. Wow.
Chug's the boss. I'm not Chugs. I'm Tyler Jones.
I'm Tyler Jones.
I'm not Jeremy Chuggs.
Tyler Jones has became a regular on Knicks Now, late night Knicks Now. We
I
had
know.
the NS Freedom boot last time.
Right. We did it for Ennis Freedom, and we set a record.
Das Boots. Yes, Big L.
So, I'm thinking tonight, trying to keep up with the Thunder and Knicks theme, this is the Carmelo boot.
The Carmelo boot?
This is the Melo boot.
All right. Get those sevens in the chat right now.
We
The
did it.
Carmelo boot coming
Carmelo
your
boot.
way.
Although Carmelo's time in Oklahoma City wasn't great, he was a liability defensively, but he still brought entertainment for that season for Oklahoma City
He did.
after losing Kevin Durant. Marshy, we decided to keep up with the Thunder and Knicks
You see
theme.
the sevens?
Don't spill this on my laptop.
This
please.
is the Melo boot.
We get.
This is the Mellow boot?
This-
We're getting the
Melo.
sevens in the chat right now. Get the sevens in chat.
That's lit.
Throw them up. Throw the sevens up.
So the Melo boot.
How do you get to pour it where there's no foam?
Do you not know how to pour beer?
I was pouring so I was hitting the glass first. That's what you do, right? The side?
Pour it slow.
I did.
It's fine. That'll
I
work.
kind of, the trick where you do.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
Marsh, I was saying.
Did you make it a jungle boot or is it a
No
regular?
jungle boot,
Okay,
regular.
okay.
Marsh, I was saying. The picture of D Wade to LeBron. It was like Charles over the shoulder. Big L coming in for the slam.
Yeah.
Said it for the
I've always said Marshall was like America's roommate. That's like the attitude he has. Marsh tonight is America's bartender.
I'm the bartender.
You ever been a bartender?
No, but I'm taking a shot right now for the real ones. As in, tell Big L this is for him.
This is for Big L. And I'm going to hand you back the headset as I get ready for the Melo boot.
All right.
So I can't be a liability on defense.
No. I think you're all right. You're like you're an Ennis Freedom type of player.
No. I'm MJ.
You're an MJ. Charles, Big L, this one's for you. Let me take a shot at tequila.
Got the clock ready?
Oh, you want to time this?
Oh, we're going. You got me the good boot, so we're going.
Yeah, I got the good boot.
We're going for 15 seconds
Can he do 15 seconds?
for Melo.
Type Y for yes or O for over, U for under. That's the way to do it. 15 seconds. O for over, U for under. All righty. Whenever you're ready, Jonesy, I'll start it.
Okay. On my count. 3, 2, 1.
Clock has started. Jonesy, the boot got on Knicks now. Let's see it.
He's got that look in his eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy shit, he's going to do it.
Oh, he's down in it.
He's going to do it.
He's got it.
11, 12, 13,
Oh.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
That was,
20.
that was a hell of an effort.
22, hell of a boot. End of the workday. Jonesy came in, delivered to the real ones, and that's why Jonesy is a real one.
That was a very full boot.
It was to the top.
Yeah,
It was to the top. I think this is a little smaller.
it was. It's at a little competitive disadvantage.
3 beers, though, in 23 seconds? That's less than 8 seconds of beer. I don't think I could chug
There
one.
you go. Reggie Miller could never.
F. Reggie Miller in the chat. F. Reggie Miller in the chat. Let's go. Everyone, show TJ some love. He's always a real one on Knicks Now.
Taco Bell tonight? What do you think?
What do you get from Taco Bell? Mexican pizza?
Well, it's always been sold out.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like soft tacos.
Ooh, soft tacos. Crunchwrap Supreme is a sneaky one. My stomach doesn't agree with Taco Bell.
Boys, have a good night.
Show TJ some love in the chat. He's a freaking animal for that.
Hello.
Mellow. All right. Clutch. We're going to stay live till 8 o'clock. That's 21 minutes. 21 minutes, unless more soups roll in, but that's where we're going to be at right now. I can't believe Big L did that.
I can't believe Big L did that either.
There was like a little bit of a pause, and I was like, it's not going to happen. And Big
Yeah.
L said, watch this.
I was like, damn. I kind of felt bad for Charles there. I was like, Charles just dropped it.
I
but
think
then-
I would have had to have done the boot. I think I would have had to have done
I would have offered a half a boot
Yeah.
for Charles. I would have done something.
Charles and freaking Big L do it again.
Real ones, man. Real ones.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to do another mailbag? Do we want to ask questions? What do we want to do here?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Can you make it youngin? Because Big L is watching. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Mailbag?
All right, y'all want to do a mailbag?
Could get into another mailbag.
Steven says mailbag. Carl says mailbag. Tricky Nicky says mailbag. All right, you guys got to ask some questions.
Yeah. If you guys want a mailbag, we got to get the questions in there.
Use hashtag Knicks in the comment section. Ask your questions. We're going to need like 6 or 7 questions. Tricky Nicky got one. We're awesome because you're awesome, bro.
Also, Tricky Nicky, I noticed your profile picture is of J.J. McCarthy.
I keep on thinking that's like Yoda.
I was thinking that Tricky Nicky, I went to high school with JJ. When he was a freshman, I was a senior, and I was on the and he was our scout team quarterback. Fun fact, like JJ, he actually just unfollowed me on Instagram about 5 months ago, but besides the point. But if you want a fun fact about me, JJ went to my high school, used to catch some balls from him when he was when he was 14 years old. Yeah,
Tricky
JJ's the
Nicky
real
says
deal.
JJ's the real deal.
He is the real deal. Marsh interviewed him, actually.
I did. I've had an interview with J.J. McCarthy. I covered him when he was in high school. What's your laptop on?
52. You got
Okay,
it.
I grab that piece. I'm on 1%.
Yeah, Alexander, use hashtag Knicks to get that question in there, and you'll be all good.
Charles said that's a big pause.
That is a big
You
pause.
catching balls from a 14-year-old.
Yeah, that was I kind of noticed what I was saying halfway through, and I was like, you know what, he's got to roll with it.
Look, if we're going to do a mailbag, we need like 5 more questions.
Yeah, get the questions in there.
Charles, I need you to ask a question. Steven asked a question. Big L, I need you to ask a question.
There you go. Yeah, Alexander, you see how they just did right there? Ooh.
Ooh, $10 super chat from Seal. You know what's funny? One of my friends growing up in high school, we called him Seal. Because
Really?
he looked like a seal. And that's just been his name that ever
He
stuck.
looked like a seal?
He looked like a seal.
It's pretty funny.
Marshall, if you're from Dallas and Houston, how did you become such a die-hard Knicks and Giants fan? Great question. So I was born on Long Island. My whole dad's side of my family are New York natives. My dad, born and raised in New York, 35 years. The whole green side of my family is from New York. My mom's side of the family is from Houston. So I was born in Long Island, but we moved to Houston when I was about 1.5 years, 2 years old. But I was raised by a New Yorker. The basketball games that were on in my house were the New York Knicks. Also, there were no Houston Texans when I was growing up. That wasn't a team yet. So I was rooting for the Giants. Honestly, it's in my blood. It means something and I have a brother that's 5 years older than me. So he lived in New York for 7 years growing up. So, look, I just wanted to be like my dad and like my brother growing up. They were rooting for the Knicks, so I rooted for the Knicks. They were rooting for the Giants, so I rooted for the Giants. Like, it means something in the green blood to be a New York sports fan. I hope that answered your question. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, born in New York, raised in Houston, but I'm loyal to the soil. Look, my dad, New Yorker, 35 years. If you heard him talk, you would be like, it's like this. This is how he says my name. Marshall. Marshall. Orange. Marshall, why are you wearing that orange t-shirt? You rooting for the Miami Dolphins?
Dolphins?
That's my dad.
From Rochester?
He's from Rochester. Oh, shoot.
I think we're ready to go.
Do we have enough?
I think we have enough. 4 cuts out of this.
Yeah. Fuck it, right? Oh, man.
Hold on. Yeah, I gotta show some serious love to this before we get in. I'll answer this back, but lost my dad in February, but you guys spread joy and happiness, always saluting and interacting with the chat. Want you to answer this. If Charles Palm and Big L go at it, who wins?
We all win.
Yeah.
None of them. I wouldn't. Tricky Nicky, that like is heartwarming to me, man. Like I'm honestly got chills right now.
Sam.
So thank you. Like that's, you know, like I don't even really know what to say, to be honest, man. I'm gonna keep you in my thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going through that. I know it's a circle of life. It'll inevitably happen one day, but man, be strong. Just keep on grinding. Keep on getting better every single day. And, dude, shout out to you, a freaking real one, bro. That is...
You're a tough fucking dude, man.
Seriously. Like, this
tough
is...
dude. It's awesome.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I saw someone say where in Long Island. So I was born in Port Jefferson area, but, like, my family's more so from, like, Bay Shore and, like, Deer Park area, if that makes sense. Raymond, Bay Shore. That's what's up. That's what's up. Fire Island, probably the coolest place in the world. It's an island, but no cars are allowed.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like a beach. It's
dope.
badass, dude. Like
You gotta take like a little trolley or
so like you
something to get to
multiple ways to do it, but he was my hero. That's awesome, dude. Much love, respect. You're a freaking champ.
Yeah, Tricky Nicky, I mean, you're just a tough dude. You're a tough dude.
Jason
man.
B's right. You're in the right place. Look, we're a family at this point. We talk to each other once a week. I'm going to be honest, I spend more time talking to you guys than I do my own family. Like, once a week, we spend 3 hours on Wednesdays, and we do videos every single day. That's 6-7 hours of me talking to you guys, and I go home and I read the comment section every single day. You guys are family at this point. We're a Knicks Now family. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Charles Palmo says, I would win. And then Big L says, not, wink, wink. If they ever go at it, I'm not sure who's going to win.
I feel like they're like brothers. Like they're like brothers that like to fight but also got a respect for each other.
100%. They are OGs. They are real ones of the channel.
Do you want to get a cut out of this or do you just want to chop it up with them?
Might as well get a cut, right?
Let's do it, yeah.
Are there enough? Yeah. If you have a question, use hashtag Knicks in the comment section, and we'll answer it. We'll talk for like 10, 12 minutes on the questions, and then probably after that, might be time to dip on out of here. But let's do it. Let's do a mailbag right now. Screw it. Let's do it. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag where we answer your guys' questions live from our live show, which airs every single Wednesday. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so when we go live next Wednesday, you can be a part of the party. It's a lot of fun on Knicks Now. I promise you, you won't regret it. Let's start this one off with a real one. Big L, what up, my guy? He said, what's the record for you to sit down Randle and start Obi or Cam? Like how bad would the Knicks have to start for us to sit Randle? I don't know if it's like ever a point where I sit Randle. Because I think that just creates a toxic environment. Like, I don't think Randle's the type of guy that would take a benching well. I think you could cut his minutes. If the Knicks are under 500 through 25 games, let's say they're 8-7 through 25 games, then I think you got to make a big time change, whether that's trading Randle or moving him to the bench. Like, you'd have to be multiple games under 500. I just don't know if Thibodeau would do that to Julius Randle. He has so much respect for him. This front office has a lot of respect for guys, for Julius Randle. So I don't know if they ever bench him, but shoot, you start 8-17 through your first 15 games, you're going to have to shake something up. Charles Palmo's a bro. He said, do you guys think we are all in on RJ, or are we going to see him in trade talks again? I think he will be in trade talks again if we don't play the young guys. I hope RJ Barrett's not in trade talks. I mean, look, after he wasn't traded in the Donovan Mitchell trade, Leon Rose made a statement that said he's a part of our future. I don't want to be the blind idiot that agrees with him, but I hope that's the case because I'm an RJ Barrett fan as a person. and as a player. I think half the reason I love this guy is because he loves being a Knick. Like, that means something to me. We've tried for so long to go out and get a superstar. And I'm not saying RJ Barrett is a superstar, but he has star potential. 22, 6'8", averaged 25 points per game the second half of the season. Like, I want to build with the guys we have on this team, and RJ is one of those. Like, yo, I'm a Knick. He said that when he got drafted. It's freaking dope to have somebody that wants to be here after we got burned by LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook and all those players. It's cool to have someone that actually wants to be here. Carl, if we decide to make a move pre-training camp, who y'all want to move, Fournier or Randle? I would lean towards Fournier because I think when you trade Fournier, it opens up more minutes for guys like Quentin Grimes, like a Cam Reddish, maybe like a Miles McBride. It gives you more minutes to give to Emmanuel quickly and to Derrick Rose. I think Fournier is a valuable piece in the NBA because he can shoot the lights out of the ball, but I just don't really think he fits the timeline of this team. He's a player that needs to be on a win-now team. I'm not necessarily sure if the Knicks are a win-now team. They're not, to be honest with you. So I would lean towards trading Fournier over Randle. That way I can start Grimes, and Cam Reddish can be my first big guard or, wing off of the bench. That's the way I would lean. More Skills TV. What up, bro? What record do you think our Knicks will end at this year? So the over-under is at 39.5 wins in Vegas. I would take the over. Could the Knicks go 42-40? 43-39? I think somewhere around there. 42, 43 wins. I would say about 42 to 43 wins. That's where I would roll with. I think that's very doable. You won 37 last year with Alec Burks as your starting point guard. So I think 39.5 wins. I would take the over. I think 42, 43 wins is where I would roll. But look, I'm not the guy that can read the future. I want to hear from you guys and all the Knicks fans out there. 39.5 wins for the New York Knicks this season. Type O for over or type U for under. I want you guys to predict it and be honest. Don't be biased. Don't just be a Knicks fan. 39.5 wins for this team this year. Type O for over, or you can go down and type U for under. Colin Revis, what up, bro? You guys have to move Randle. New York is committed to $340 million between RJ, Brunson, and Randle. New York will need that money to pay the kids. Well, you've already paid RJ Barrett. You're still 2 years away, 3 years away from paying Quentin Grimes. You're 2 years away from paying Quickly. You're 2 years away from paying Obi Toppin. There's plenty of time to get the salary cap right. I'm not against, though, getting rid of Julius Randle. I just wouldn't dump him for nothing. I got to get something back in a trade for Randle. What about the deal of trading for Russell Westbrook? Like, I don't want Russell Westbrook to be a Knick, but if you're able to swap Randle and Fournier, that $30, $48 million on long-term deals for Westbrook, and you get $47 million in cap relief after the season, and maybe you get a first-round pick. You might have to include Cam Reddish. But that's a deal that I would absolutely look at. Luke C. Rose taking a six-man role. Derrick Rose is going to be a good player for the New York Knicks this year. He said that this is the lightest he's been weight-wise since his rookie year, weighing in at 195 pounds. He said this is the best that he's felt in a really long time. Seeps knows he's a Bulls fan. Look, Derrick Rose has something in the tank, and I still think he has stuff to prove.
Yeah, I agree. I think D. Rose, since he did say his first time he's playing since at 195 since his rookie year, the way he's really been able to transition his game after the injuries, he's got the work ethic. I think he sees the game more like a quarterback nowadays. I think he can take that bench unit for the New York Knicks and kind of take it to another level.
I think so too. Like when Derrick Rose got traded here from the Pistons, when the Knicks traded Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round pick for him, one of the biggest steals of a trade of all time, he was the catalyst to this offense, and he was the best player on the Knicks, not only in the second half of the season, but in the playoffs. I'm a big fan of Derrick Rose. I can't wait to see what he does this year. I just hope he stays healthy. Manny Jacks, what is the best-case scenario for your heavily protected 3 first-rounders on this year's draft. That some of them convey, right? Like, I don't know if all 3 of them can convey. I think a couple of them will. That means one of them will roll or 2 of them will roll over to next year. I'm not worried about the draft picks, to be honest. We don't even have enough minutes on this team right now to play all the young kids. So I'm not worried about the guys that were drafted this year. I want to develop the guys we have. Give the minutes to Quickly. Give the minutes to Toppin. Give the minutes to Grimes. Give the minutes to Reddish. I'm worried about those guys getting minutes before the guys that are potentially coming up in the 2023 NBA draft. If you love the Knicks and you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that puts videos out every single day, go down right now and hit that big red button, because as the season gets closer, our content is only going to get hotter and hotter. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube, hit that big red button and help us get to 14,000 subscribers on the channel. James Maynard, start Brunson, Barrett, Reddish, Toppin, Robinson, with Grimes being the 6th man and Rosen Quickly being the rest of the rotation. So you're not playing Julius Randle. As cool as that sounds, it ain't happening. You're not going to keep Julius Randle on this roster and not play him. If Julius Randle's on this roster, I can almost guarantee you that he will start. But look, I'd love to see more minutes from Obi. I'd love to see more minutes from Reddish. It's just, this team ain't benching Randle. He ain't getting DNPs, I'll tell you that much. Last question coming in from Colin. I worry if New York doesn't trade Randle that Tibbs will be Tibbs and the kids won't get the minutes they need. That's a very fair concern. I kind of go like this, that Tibbs' greatest strength is sometimes his biggest weakness. His ability to get the most out of players and demand them to play 40 minutes and defense and not changing on offense. It's what makes him great, but also is somewhat of his Achilles heel. I think that's why you saw the front office trade in Alec Burks. I think that's why you saw the front office get rid of Taj Gibson. I think that's why you saw the front office get rid of Nerlens Noel and Kemba Walker. Take away some of those vets that Thibodeau wanted to play. Sometimes you got to take the toys away from a dog or he's going to continue to play with them. It's a good concern, but I think Thibodeau knows if he doesn't play the vets, the young kids this year, he might be moved up to the front office sooner rather than later and get his duties as a head coach relieved. Give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. We just crossed over 2,000 followers over on Twitter. Shout out to you guys. How about this? Everyone that follows me from today's show, just send me a DM or mention me. Be like, yo, Marsh, I came from that mailbag on the channel, and I'll give you a follow back. And as always, I want to show love to the real ones. If you made it this far in the video, comment real one down below. I'm right there with you, Jason B. At some point, the Knicks have to consolidate assets. You're 100% right, bro. The loyalty here is crazy. Race, religion, and everything else is left at the door. This spot is always for real ones. In the words of the immortal Biggie, if you don't know, now you know. 100%, bro. That's what I want to create. I want to create a spot, a safe space for all Knicks fans. To leave all that other stuff at the door, whether you're whatever you look like, whatever your religion is, whatever your race is, I'm going to love you. I'm going to show you respect. And let's just all root for Knicks W's. That's what we want. We want this team to be great. We can argue, we can bicker about who plays, and if Thibodeau should be the coach, if we should trade Randle and that's fine. I love the passion from this fan base, but I want to create a safe space for all Knicks fans to talk hoops. I think we're getting there, and it's a credit to guys like Carl and More Skills and Charles and Fabian and OG and Big L and Berto, Tricky Nicky, James Maynard, Tricky Nicky, Carl, like all Colin, Futon Dadon, Bob D, like the T3 Springs, Berto, LNC, John Banks, Mozilla. It's you guys that make this an awesome, awesome community.
We're closing in on 3 hours right now, and we still have over 200 watching. It's pretty sweet.
You guys have been freaking dope. Tricky Nicky says, I found you with Chase at Chat Sports TV. You created a Knicks Chat Sports TV. I know the answer, but do you? Are Knicks fans the fastest growing channel in your history? It's up there. This channel went from I'll find the exact stats here in a second. This will blow a lot of your guys' minds.
It's crazy tricky. You literally have JJ as your profile pick. It's freaking awesome, man. Jason B. Carl is definitely a real one. Yes, he is. Oh, my bad, Fabian. I didn't. Yeah, sometimes, like, if you get your question in there, I mean, there's obviously a lot going on my end. Yeah, that's my fault. I'll make sure to keep a lookout for you next time.
When was the draft? NBA draft.
May. JJ, my guy, went to the game last Saturday, 59-0. Yeah, no, he's looked great. I think he's the real deal, though. I mean, I really do. I think, Michigan fans have a lot to be happy about.
So the draft was July 6th. So let's do this. Or June 6th, excuse me. So on June 6th, the channel had 6,269 subscribers. On June 6th, 6,269 subscribers, right?
And what are we at now?
We've gained 7,282 subs since June 6th. July, August, September. In a little over 3 months.
That's crazy.
We've added 7,280 subscribers. Shout out to you guys. This is one of the fastest growing. Over the summer, no channel at Chat Sports has grown more. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Freaking incredible, man. That is a credit to you guys, straight up. Straight the hell up.
What the fuck? I saw the light go on, and then I heard this. What are you doing here?
In the last 90 days, we've gained this many subs.
Nick, you're still here, too?
Wow.
Oh, NCAA? Really? That's sick.
Who won?
Yeah, who won? Oh, he beat you?
Dude, I was like at the 35-yard line to kick a game-winning field goal, and wouldn't we call timeout 5 seconds left?
Oh, did you get lucky? Jeremy got lucky?
I mean, he was at the 35-yard line.
It would have been a
50-something yard.
Yeah. What's 35 plus 17? Quick math. 52-yarder.
I don't know if my kicker had the range, but I would have at least had a shot.
Tricky Nicky says, I'm 43, by the way, so old school. Go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, go.
We got the 100-piece when you're,
Wait, you guys got a 100-piece?
yeah, or 250s.
Yeah, we got the boot.
You got 250?
We got
$325.
$2,000 super chats.
325, son. Alrighty. We've been live for...
One more $100 super chat, and Marshall's doing a tequila boot.
How much for a boot?
Don't touch me.
Look at the way you crash.
Dude, don't caress my head. Like I'm
He's going to flirt with you.
One of your flag girls.
50?
I'm leaving in 60 seconds. If somebody sends in a hundo piece, I'll do a boot.
All right. Jeremy Chugs, come here. Put him on screen.
We'll go
Jeremy Chugs holds the... If you thought TJ did a boot fast, I guarantee you he can do a boot in less than 15 seconds.
What did TJ do?
He did 22 today.
I'll do better than half that. I'll do quicker than 11 seconds.
He said he'll do a boot quicker than 11 seconds. But we need a $100 super chat in the next minute. He drives a hard bargain.
$100 in total.
Okay, how about this? So if we get to 420, we need $100 in total. Not someone has to send it. If everyone comes together, the squad, the New York Knicks fam.
Everyone come together.
On three, everyone come together.
Yeah.
All right. If we get $100 in super chats in the next minute, Jeremy Chug said he'll do a boot. And if he doesn't do it in less than 12 seconds, he has to do 2 tequila shots.
Deal.
I think that's fair.
Deal.
That's fair.
Deal.
But we have to get there. We have to get there. It's on you guys at this point. Look, there's a shot clock. We're already at 20. Hold on, restart. 1 minute. 1 minute shot clock. We got to get $100 in super
I
chats.
do have to say, I'm a Rockets fan, so
Let's get this Rockets fan drunk. Come on. Come on.
hey, Hakeem's way better than Ewing. Just saying.
Wow, he said Akeem's better than Ewing. Look, we're at the end of the stream. We're at the end of the stream, so I don't know, but we'll see. We'll put the shot clock on. You're driving a hard bargain. I think the big spenders are out. But I don't know. Maybe Anthony Garcia, who says how much for a shot. Charles Pommel said, wait, hold on, what's going on? We got $5 right there. We got to get 95 more dollars in super chats in the next 30 seconds, and this guy's going to do a boot. And he said, if the boot is less or more than 12 seconds, he'll do 2 tequila shots.
If it's more than 12 seconds.
What did I say?
You said if it's less or more.
Yes. All right. Well, I don't think we're going to, unless Charles Pommel sends in a $90 super chat, or Big L, or OG, or Jason B. Those are the big dogs here at New York Knicks now.
It's okay. I mean, if this was a Rockets channel, I know they'd send it in, so it's all good.
Are we going to just let this guy talk shit to us right now?
I'm just saying.
Let's get this kid plastered. Come on. Someone send in $100. Well, 95 at this point. That's all we need. If not, we're going to bounce on out of here. Charles says my pride was hit. Charles, I need you. I need you more than ever. He's leaving. We're going to restart the timer. If we don't have it in a minute, we're getting out of here. That's the rules. All righty. I don't know if it's going to happen. If not, a hell of a stream. You guys showed up and showed out. I'm going to take a shot for more skills for sending in that $5 super chat. We're $95 away. If it doesn't have to happen. Let's go! Fill the boot! Fill the boot! Fill the boot! Fill it! Fill up the boot! Fill the boot! Oh, better come back. Bring that ass here, boy. Charles from 3. Bang! Oh my God, Charles is goated. Oh my God, get the boot, get the boot, get the boot. Oh my God, Charles. Wow. Let's go.
Charles,
oh my God.
Every single time I think you don't have a chance, you shut me the hell up. Oh my, hey Charles, you're getting a real one shirt. I don't care if it's out of my own pocket. We'll get you a real one shirt.
He said that was a pride super chat. They're saying you got to put on the real one shirt. That's what they're saying. Make him wear a real one shirt for talking crap.
Like, put yours on?
Mine? Do I need to take mine off? On air?
Uh-oh.
How about this? If he doesn't do it in less than 12 seconds, he has to put this on and tell everybody how much he loves the Knicks.
Deal.
Fair? Is that fair? And he has to say Ewing is better than Olajuwon. On camera.
I don't know why on camera.
I don't want to.
All right, put it full screen.
Yep.
Let's go. Tricky Nicky said Big L is getting cooked. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's just dealing with Michael Jordan right now. I'll give you the full show right here. Yeah. Less than 12? Hold on. Ready? Less than 12? Here we go. Once I see you start drinking, working that throat.
You ready?
Are you ready? 12 seconds or less, and he's got to put a real one on. Here we go. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. Mississippi. Florida, Mississippi. Damn it.
Oh my God!
What did I just say? What did I tell y'all? What did I say?
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Tyler can't do that shit.
Tyler could never.
Mar-
DJ could never.
Marshall didn't even stop it whenever I finished.
Yeah, that was like 8-5.
Hey, I'm the past, the present, and the future. You can call me Himothy.
Oh my God. This is my little bro. This is my little bro right here. This is my little bro. What's the chat saying? Oh my God. Damn. This dude just chugged 3 beers in 9 seconds. And not a spill. Not a drop. No even leakage. He straight up flexed. Holy shit.
Charles,
This dude said, call me. No. He didn't say Timothy. He said him-athy. Like, he's him. Like Himothy. He killed that shoot. I'll be back. Pool cracks. Yo, that is a major pause. Holy shit.
Hey, Charles, I hope you got what you paid for.
That Charles, Rockets still can't beat us. ... Rockets suck. They can't F with the Knicks. Alrighty. Show Jeremy some love in the chat. That was absolutely electric.
All right, we're going to get into another mailbag.
I can't. Oh my God. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I'm still at a loss for words, frankly.
I'm going to do a couple tequila shots for these guys, and then we got to go.
Yeah. I'll pour up some Fireball. Charles, Carl, everybody in here, Tricky Nicky. This one, just all of you guys, man.
Charles says he wasn't expecting that. That wasn't only the fastest boot ever. He, like, crushed his previous time.
Yeah.
That was, like, 8 seconds. His previous time was 11.
We might need to go back and watch the film to get the exact
The
time
exact
on
time.
that because, yeah, that's some deep throat. Yep, Big L. Yep, Big L's getting it now.
He deep-throated that piece. Pause.
Whenever we get into hour 3, it just gets a little.
Bruh needs to marinate with green. Holy shit. Pause.
Cheers, guys.
LOL. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
That's a Rockets fan for you.
Yeah. Wow.
Most impressive thing associated with the Knicks in years. That was impressive.
That's fucking hilarious.
I could not believe he did that.
Can't believe he did that either. Most impressive thing associated with the Knicks. Seems
It's getting off the rails.
yeah,
We gotta
this is
go.
getting off the rails
Too
now.
many comments
You guys,
like this.
you guys are awesome. You guys, it's crazy. Like Marsh and I, obviously we have fun talking hoops with each other, but like when you add you guys in here,
It makes it way better.
I mean, honestly, like when we're just talking hoops in the office, it's fun, but like talking it with you guys, man, it's damn, you guys just fucking rock.
It's time to go, says Charles.
Yeah, we're
Marshall made up for it. Lou, shout out to you, bro. Alrighty, I'm going to take one more tequila shot, then we got to bounce out of here. We've been live for 3 hours.
Hey, Carl, remember like an hour and a half ago when you stopped in, when we were about to get out of here? We made up for it.
I've been at work for 12 hours. I got the hiccups now because I got the drunk ups. Alrighty.
Last one. Cheers.
Marsh is so funny. This dude got me weak. I'm crying.
Dude.
Shout out. I'm going to give everybody a shout out that's recently commented. Big L, Charles, Tricky Nicky, Lou, D3, Bob D,
Shout out to you,
OG, Berto, Impact the Truth Teller, Truth Junkie TV, Pool Crack, Webb. I think that's everybody I'm seeing in the chat right now. If you want a shout out,
Love you
Bob
guys.
D, More Skills. Alrighty. Eccentric. Good night, guys. I got to go to work tomorrow. So do we. I'm signing out.
Yes, sir.
To the real ones, this one's for you.